Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Mike Flanagan here with you alongside Matt Turek and Boudouris here at the Fusion Realtors Open here in Waterloo, Iowa. Happy to be with you. It's the Mike Flanagan Countrywide Tour. This is 3 weeks in a row, and Matt Turek's actually been joining me as well. Lee, this is your first broadcast, so he's definitely going to be the freshest one in the booth today. I'm very happy to be here with you guys here at Maple Lanes.
Thanks, Mike. I'm happy to be here this morning, too.
Just to give you a little bit of an idea here, smaller bowling center than what we've seen in the last few weeks. Actually, just 32 bowling lanes. We're right on top of the action here. And this tournament is sold out, gentlemen. This tournament's been sold out for quite some time. I'm not even sure how many we have on each squad. I guess it's
60. 2 on a lane the whole way, 180 bowlers.
So they're going to use all but 2 lanes. They're just being safe in case there's a breakdown to keep action moving along all day long. I want to tell you a little bit about this pattern today, gentlemen. It's a 45-foot pattern. There are 30 milliliters out there on the lanes. It is a wood house, but the wood looks like it's in really good shape as I was looking around. And it's a 3.66 to 1 ratio.
It's an HPL
It's
house.
HPL.
You know what, gentlemen?
It's got wood approaches, though.
Last night during Cosmic Bowl, I thought it was wood. So you can tell it's been the Mike Flanagan Tour, and I've been around for a long, long time. I'm totally wired, so these guys are going to run the broadcast. We're supposed to be joined during the first block by Steve Richtor, USBC Eagle winner, multiple-time Eagle winner. And we should be joined also by Rob Gotchall here in just a little bit. I'm going to be updating social media throughout the block. Let's head out to the lanes. Take a look at our split screen here. We're working on our squad assignments as well. You're looking at lanes 5 and 6 and 13 and 14. We're right behind lanes 9 and 10 here in front of the desk. Want to just give a shout out to Rich Amy, the proprietor here at Maple Lanes, for being in charge of this event and actually having this event here every year. And a shout out to Zach from Fusion Realtors, a great sponsor of this event. And we'll be going over all the sponsors as the day unfolds. We are here at Maple Lanes, Waterloo, Iowa, 32 lanes, InsideBowling.com. If this is your first time coming along and joining us for a broadcast, we welcome you in. We have a feeling most of you are not. We want to thank everybody for coming in and being part of this thing. We've got some viewers out there. We'll be here for 3 squads, gentlemen. We've got A, B, and C squads.
So, 9, 130, and 6 or something like that?
That is correct, Lee. Those are the squad times. They will be bowling 7-game blocks today. Then they come back in the morning and bowl a 6-game block before the step ladder and a little bit of match play.
Yeah, it's 64.
Yeah,
top 64 out of 180.
Right.
And then the top 10 of the 64 make it to a modified step ladder, if you will, where essentially the bottom 6 are bowling their own bracket to be 5.
Yeah,
and then it's a normal step ladder from there.
It should be the number 10 seed versus the number 7 seed, and then the number 9 versus 8, and then the winners will move on to take 5 and 6 seeds, and then the winner of that match will get seeded into the final
traditional step ladder, if you will.
The traditional step ladder as the number 5 seed, where 5 will bowl 4, and then the winner will advance on down the line.
So action underway, game number 1 of 7. A couple of notables on this squad that I just see right in front of us here in front of the desk. Gail Myers Jr., career lifetime average leader at the USBC Open Championships. Also have Jeff Riggles, Hall of Famer. Lenny Boudouris as well, Hall of Famer. They're actually paired up together, amazingly enough. They'll be coming through our live stream pairs.
Right in front of our desk, not necessarily the camera, Tom Adcock from Decatur, Illinois. Looks like we got our first breakdown on 8.
Yeah, we do. It looks like these are some older AMF pin setters, but it looks like they're on it right away. Lane 8, we got a little breakdown early on here, but nothing too major. I want to welcome in Peggy to the chat. She said, remember a few weeks ago when we were having the college tournament, must be referring to the Clark University Invitational. Her son had no expression whatsoever, but he did show some expressions towards the end. No expression whatsoever. So, Peggy, thank you for coming in. We appreciate your feedback. Also, I'm trying to send our first tweet of the day here to see if our tweets are coming into the booth and if we have that functionality today. Getting a look here, looks like Cody Taylor. They're working on our squad pairings for us. Jason Guest from Brunswick on lanes 5 and 6. Let's go over to lanes 5 and 6 and take a look and check in on Mr. Guest. We've also got our scoreboards working here today, so you can follow along at home. Jason Guest, Brunswick is one of the sponsors of this event.
Yep.
And it's nice to have Jason here. I know he's a huge supporter of the Greater Iowa tournaments, and this being one of their, I'm going to just title it a major. This is one of their major championships is what we would call it. And looks like Guest has got a good look. He looks good today. You know, he looks slimming in black, and he looks very excited here at 9:19 in the morning.
Yeah, it's more excited than I could get.
If you're a bowling fan too, you should also take a look at the PBA Extra Frame. Right now the Masters is going on, and we've actually got that on here in the bowling center today as well for the bowlers to see. So keep an eye on that as well. We love live streaming. We love the PBA. And USBC, that live telecast will be on ESPN tomorrow.
It's 2 o'clock Central Time.
Right.
So we got, I don't know this gentleman's name, over on 7 and 8 in the blue St. Ambrose jersey. He bowled the Greater Iowa Youth Tournament last night. And he's back this morning.
Yeah, there were some fine bowlers in that junior tournament last night, right, Lee?
About 20 or so youth bowlers. They had a scholarship tournament after the practice session last night. And if I'm not mistaken, it was on the
same pattern,
because they sure look tight, but definitely a good little event. I think I paid $400 in scholarship money for first. It's $3,000 this weekend to win the whole thing.
So we're looking at lanes 5 and 6 here, Lee, and on lanes 5 and 6, we've got Jason Guest, TJ York, Jason Poley, Andy Schutt on this particular pair. Somebody's got a cell phone going off, and I have a feeling it's me.
I got it.
Imagine that. Missing calls from, it's Bill Gates checking in, wanting to know if we're looking for a sponsor.
Well, yes, Bill, if you are listening, we are looking for a sponsor.
So we've got our squad pairing sheets now. This is fantastic. Lanes 5 and 6. Once again, Jason Guest, TJ York, Jason Poley, and Andy Schutt. And our other feature pair down on lanes 13 and 14, we have none other than Jeff Rude. I wonder if he's related to Ravishing Rick Rude from the WWE.
Oh, yeah.
Cody Taylor, Roger Taylor Jr., and Brandon Rude. So we've got a couple of Rudes and a couple of Taylors down here.
It's like a family pair going on.
It's a family affair here in Waterloo, Iowa. We're happy to have you with us. Fusion Realtors Open qualifying A squad. We'll have B and C. Mike Flanagan, Matt Turek, Boudouris here, bringing you the action here today. Tom Adcock is also here. And I'll do what I can with our cameras that we have. We do not have our jib cam with us. It's a smaller bowling center, but I'll be trying to get you some in-game interviews, and we'll try to get a camera on me as we keep an eye on what's happening throughout the day. Gentlemen, I'm going to jet out of the booth. I'm going to let you guys take over. I'm going to update our social media. I'm going to leave you guys alone here. Once again, it is a 45-foot pattern today, 30.05 milliliters on this HPL lane surface. It's a 3.66 to 1 ratio. The proprietor here of the bowling center, Mr. Amy, we appreciate him having this event. And also to Joe Engelkiss and his family, Jennifer and Rosie, for running the event. Absolute joy to work with, and look forward to being here with you all the way up to about 9:30 p.m. So just about 12 hours of coverage today, which isn't really that much for us, Lee. As you remember at the Holiday Doubles Tournament, 18 hours a day, almost.
Right. And can't forget about Matt Wegan or Shannon Buchan. They're also on this squad.
Yeah.
At the far end. We'll see them in a while.
Former exempt player Shannon Buchan is on this block. And, Matt Wegan, USBC Open Championships, all events title. So great names. Don't forget Tom Hess, Masters champion from a few years ago, will be on C Squad today.
Yep. And if you are new to this, we are a very interactive show, so if there's somebody you want us to talk to or something you want us to talk about, go ahead, throw it in chat, and we'll either yap about it or find somebody who can. A number of very notable guests lined up to join us here in the booth today. Get to those as we roll along here. Maybe our number of loyal fans who always post those Facebook pictures of like the 60-inch TVs with us on. I can see some of those with the split screen between us and the extra frame.
Extra frame, yeah. If you guys are watching at home, don't forget to tune in to us and watch Extra Frame. You guys can do that at the same time, hopefully. I know Extra Frame has got that mobile app that you go watch on your phone while you watch us on the computer. Keep in touch with all the bowling going on across the country here. We got big old tournament there. The USBC Masters is underway. Final day of qualifying.
Match play, man.
Match play. I'm sorry. Match play. First day of match play. I guess the only day of match play?
Second day of match play, actually.
Oh.
They had match play yesterday. We're watching on the car ride up today. Actually, they're dialing it in. I think the winners of the winners bracket now are actually going to make the shootout round at least to try to make TV, because the top 5 are going to make TV. Matt McNeil, who's won this event before, is actually still bowling in the Masters.
He just got knocked out.
Oh, he did.
He lost to Waterloo 740 to 681.
Unfortunate for him.
Riggle said, "That destroyed my story." He wrote a blog post on the 11th frame about Mr. McNeil, and it's a good story. Still worth your read, but
we were talking in the car.
Good run.
The most interesting thing about Mr. McNeil is that if he would have made TV, he would not have been able to use his 900 Global equipment. He would not have been able to wear his Lynn shoes or his High Five jerseys.
That's caused by a sponsorship issue, correct?
Yeah.
It is, yeah.
He still could have wore his normal socks, though.
Okay.
Those are all right.
We got a really cool way you can interact with us now, Lee, as well. All you have to do if you're watching, send out a tweet to #InsideBowling. And as you can see, I just sent one out. It'll appear up on your screen. Live streaming now at the Fusion Realtors Open, #InsideBowling. So interact with us. Your tweets will come up on the screen. We'll bring them up for you. Also, just one more time, just want to drive this home. Joe Engelkiss and his daughter Jennifer and wife Rosie do a tremendous job running these events. They get the bracket money paid out quickly. They give us all the information we need. We have our squad pairing sheets. We'll be updating our standings throughout the day for you. You can refresh your tabs down below. Give us a little bit of time to get that going. Might take us a game or so. You see Lenny Boudouris, USBC Hall of Famer, on lane number 12, getting a strike, and you're watching live action here on InsideBowling.com TV. We'll go to split screen, and as I said, I was going to jut out. At this time, I'm going to go ahead and do so. I'm going to leave you guys with these tournament notes right here, and I'll be back with you here in just a little while.
All right, we'll see Mike later. See who he rounds up to join us here at some point.
Okay, Matt Turek here with you alongside Lee Boudouris. First game here at the tournament is almost halfway completed here. A lot of bowlers are here in the 5th and 6th frames.
And this should move quick the whole weekend with just
two
bowlers to a lane
per
the
lane,
entire way.
one game per pair. Then there's a strange skip procedure. The first game they will skip to the right, just to the pair to the right. So if you are bowling on 9 and 10, you will move to 11 and 12. After the second game, however, they're going to skip one pair. So now they're on 11 and 12. They're going to skip 13 and 14 and then bowl 15 and 16. And then after that, they will skip 2 pairs. So going from 15 and 16 on down to 21 and 22.
And then they'll do that again.
Yeah, then
that's really at least personally, a preferred skip procedure, because you're not going to be following the same people all day long.
That's very true.
If you've got a two-hander or a left-hander or somebody throwing a different part of the lane than everybody else, it's going to be minimized. It's good. It's a PBA uses that as well.
That's right, Lee.
So if you're waiting to see the Boudouris boys or Mr. Riggles. We'll see them on 13 and 14 in game 2.
Yeah, I was trying to get ahead here and try to plan out our pairings here with the names. And it does appear that even some pairs only have 3 bowlers.
It shouldn't be.
According to my sheet, it is that way.
Or, well, we do have a 1 and 2, it looks like. Yeah,
1 and 2 has got 3 bowlers. 3 and 4 has got 3 bowlers. Then 5 and 6, 7 and 8, 9 and 10. And then on down the line, you're looking at about 4 bowlers each.
So we got 2 openings on the squad that I guess popped up late. Unless this is not the. Well, there's 4 bowlers, Matt, on 3 and 4. There's a late ad we don't have.
Yeah, they are almost done with that game, and there are no scores posted for that bottom bowler. I do believe they're just in there, and it's filled in as an absent.
Yeah, so we got 59 this squad.
Yeah, but it does look like on 3 and 4 there is a late addition.
Right. So just the 1.
Yeah, that ain't so bad.
Short pair.
As you can see on your screen, here's Mr. Guest. Jason Guest here. He's going after a 7 count there. That looks to be the 2-5-8. And a nice conversion there by Jason.
Just glancing around at the scoring monitors here, they look like to be all over the map. Got a number of people you can look at with 3, 4 in a row, and then a lot of red squares and dash lines.
Yeah,
so it should be a very fair scoring pace from what I see now and what we saw last night. If you make your shots, you're going to strike, but certainly not wide open.
I'm going to take you over here to lanes 5 and 6, blow it up real big here with the scoreboard. Looks like our scoreboards are backwards here, guys. Yes, they are. Let me fix that if you want to go ahead with some commentary here.
All right, just taken care of.
Okay.
You got that taken care of there?
Yes, I do. There we go.
All right.
That's the correct scoreboard setup there. As you can see, the top bowler, I was trying to get the top bowler there. He had 4 in a row going up through the 8th. I wanted to get his strike on camera. His strike was on camera. The scoreboard just wasn't up there, but you can see he's got 5 in a row now.
Got Riggles in front of me here. He's got the Storm shirt on, and he carried a very light hit and held the Storm up in case I didn't know he was a Storm staffer. Of course, he writes that blog for our sister site, and go over, check out all of his wisdom at the 11thframe.com.
And here we would say a shout out to Dubuque Area Bowling. We were just up there 2 weeks ago doing a college tournament. It looks like he was watching from home. He's going to be checking out the stream. We're very pleased to have you watching there.
Always get some people from all over checking in to watch these broadcasts.
Oh, yeah, definitely. In fact, at that college tournament, Lee, 2 weeks ago, we had a few spectators from England and Ireland, I believe, watching the stream. So that's really neat. We're touching all corners of the globe. And again, if you want to contact us, there are multiple ways that you can do that. There is a chat, a live chat, as you watch the stream on the InsideBowling.tv website. Or you can tweet us using #InsideBowling, and we will show those tweets on the screen.
We want to flip back over.
Switching over here to
13 and 14, and
yeah.
it's like that's Chris Parker who's taking the Argyle look to. It's Cody Taylor. I'm sorry, to a whole nother level with the black and pink.
Yeah, I kind of like that jersey. It looks pretty cool with the checkered and the pink. It's one of the finer jerseys I've seen so far. I did notice over on the left here, there's a gentleman with pink plaid pants on. He's on lane 7 and 8.
Imagine both of them on the same guy. So Wriggles in front of us can striking his fill shot for 247. Be able to see him finish on 12. And we are using lanes 1 through 30. We can see 1 through about 16 or 18 or so. And everybody will cycle through the entire house over the length of the squad. So whoever you're watching to see, you'll see them.
That is correct here. There's a mixed breed of scores I'm seeing across the board here. So far, the high game here, 246, was shot on lane 11.
That was Mr. Wriggles.
Um,
Just trying to chat here. He's Lenny Boris has 260 left. Strike spare, 5-bagger.
Lee, do you know who is in the blue jersey down there on the featured pair there, 13? Getting ready to shoot?
I do not.
Yeah, it's kind of difficult to determine who's who without names on their bag. It looks like he does have his name on the bag, but it's just camouflage looking. It's very hard to read sometimes when they get far away like that.
The Lenny Boris with the shot clock violation. It is $100 to InsideBowling.com, $500 for the next time. Does Lenny know it's a shot clock violation? I thought the. All right. What I'm doing in the yard. What's the ball? Jeff advised us there's a one-time per day waiver on the shot clock if you're 50 or over.
For the seniors.
Yes.
Well, that's good.
So Lenny takes his after the 10th frame of game 1. And we'll get to watch them.
Yeah, they will be on the featured pair here next, 13 and 14. Jeff Wriggles and his company. Down here, let's switch over to 5 and 6. Watch the end of that match here, finishing up. 5 and 6 has got Jason Guest, who does look like he has completed his game. I believe he shot a 211, if I got that right.
Yep.
So this should be T.J. York and Andy Shutt, I believe, bowling. Not entirely sure which one is which. Oh, coming a little high with that Greek church. That's a tough break there in the 10th frame.
I think that shot was more of a lineup shot with the different ball for the next game.
Yeah, that definitely looked like to be the case.
I mean, it's pretty much anything so far. Anything two.
Oh, we got 4
That
out
is
of
count. Anything 210 or more is
it's
going to
would
put you
be good.
ahead.
I'll ping.
Pepsi. Yeah, there's only anything 210 or more is going to put you above the average for sure. And they'll open up, you know, with a heavier volume pattern.
Okay, so it looks like Jason Poley was in the blue jersey.
The way we broke this pair down, this will be a high scoring pair.
All right. And Jeff came up and told me that the way they broke down 11 and 12, we're going to see a lot of high scores on it, which kind of follows what I was thinking. But
yeah, and down there, bowlers are starting to move pairs here.
if these get broken down the wrong way, it's going to be a mess.
Oh, yeah.
If they're going to be broken down the right way, it's going to be a lot of high scores. But for now, it's they're not broken down at all. So I guess it's actually just still finishing up and couldn't get the 8 out. He'll shoot 226 once he picks that. And the black Brunswick DV8 jersey.
DV8. So it looks like they're done down there on game 5. Or I'm on lanes 5 and 6. Looks like everyone's moving pairs. Let's take you back over to 13 and 14, where they are just starting their second game.
Could be a little bit of hang up from 7 and 8 because of the breakdown they had a while ago, but 13 and 14 is here. So this is, want to make sure I get his first name right, Jacob Boudouris, who's Lenny's son. He bowls collegiately for Clark.
And he's in the Ebonite jersey, correct?
No, he's bowling on 13.
Yeah, in the Ebonite shirt.
Oh, I couldn't tell. It was a gray shirt. And Dad Lenny and Jeff Riggles. And the fourth gentleman on that pair is Zach Bashorner, who is the Fusion Realtors.
Jeff Riggles there
sponsor.
is in the black, correct?
Yes, here
He's
on,
up
14
here on 14
with the Storm jersey.
Looks like a fine shot. Gets in there a little light, but carries it.
Just smiling, folks.
Having a lot of fun. And looks like this might be Lenny Boudouris there.
That's
Lee?
Jacob.
That's Jacob on the right.
Lenny's his dad.
In the red jersey, I'm talking?
Yes. Still ball on 14. They're both from Wisconsin. Lenny bowls with Jeff on the 11thframe.com team for the USBC Open Championships in Reno this year. And a number of the other members of their group are also going to be here, and some of them are joining us for the booth today, so we'll get to chat with them about their plans for that.
There was a nasty 10-pin there.
I saw Zach there in the blue split a 2-8-10 open the first game, so it evens out. And speaking of Jeff's team, Gail Myers Jr. is here in the Black Storm jersey on 11 and 12. You'll be able to kind of see him bowl if you look hard enough.
Yeah, if you look on your screen there, he's got that 10-pin up.
Yep.
And he's going for the conversion there and takes it down.
So you'll see him here in a little bit. Got Mike Flanagan here with the extra microphone and the headset, and see who he's got.
I don't have anybody.
Well, that's unfortunate. I'm just messing with you.
No, I'm just hanging out here. I'm going to have Steve Richtor join you here. Steve Richtor will be bringing you a little insight on what's going on here. What are we seeing with scoring pace? I haven't looked yet, guys.
It's a mixed bag. They seem pretty high to start. There have been a couple 240 games, a few games over 200, but I have also seen some games on lower than 200 in the 170 to 190 range. And like Lee was saying earlier, it would really depend on how these bowlers break the pattern down here to start to see how high scoring it ends up being after this, their seventh game, or getting towards the end of their block, I should say.
It's an odd number of games, but it'll work. 7.
And do you remember what Jacob Boris shot that last game?
I do not. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I was trying. We had him up there. We will have scoring updates here shortly, so we will be able to tell you exactly what he shot here once we get those updates in.
Yeah, it looks like lanes 13 and 14. You guys have got a great pair.
Right.
Yeah, oh yeah, that is a good pair.
With Jeff Riggles, Zach Bajorner, the Fusion Realtors sponsor. And Lenny Borish, Jeff Riggles. That's a great group. I'm going to go get Steve Richtor for you guys.
All right. Lots of bowling today, no matter where you're watching. Hope you can tune in all day here. I don't know what ball that was that just saw in 7 and 8, but it looked like a highlighter. These are the most expensive coasters we've ever used here, Matt Turek. We're using gaffing tape as
like
coasters. They ain't going to go anywhere. We know that.
You know, we always talk about on these broadcasts how we get the very best guests in the business. We say it every single time. And I'm gonna do some introductions here, actually. I don't know if you guys have all met, but joining us now in the booth is he's an Eagle winner. I think he's got 2 Eagles, actually. 3 Eagles.
Don't shortchange him.
I know that he's won. I know he's won a doubles event and I guess 2 team events, I guess. But he's gonna tell us in just a second. But Steve Richtor now joining us in the booth from the new 11thframe.com Open Championships team. How you doing, Steve?
I'm great. Thanks, Mike.
Yeah, we're happy to have you here. Have you met Lee? Lee, have you guys met?
No, Lee Boudouris. Good to meet you.
Steve Richtor,
thanks.
And Matt Turek over here as well. Matt.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Matt, Steve, and Lee. Mike Flanagan here with you. We're at the Fusion Realtors. It's the second game underway here, and you get a chance to take a look at one of your teammates here, Steve, right away. You got a chance to look at Jeff Riggles. We've got that pair lanes 13 and 14, and you guys have switched over to 11thframe.com, and you guys got all kinds of good stuff going on, and your affiliation with Storm and Roto-Grip and all the things you do with Elite Pro Shop. So we're going to need you here until about 9 o'clock to fill us in on all the great knowledge that you have. But happy to see you here, man. That's a nice-looking jersey. Matt, have you shown a picture of this guy yet in this jersey?
Oh, dear God.
Oh, it's coming.
Oh, we got to get the booth cam on this. This is
this thing working, Mike?
I'll tell you, I got to give
How about that jersey?
Roger all credit for this because he actually comped them to me, and I'm going to be bowling a few PBA regionals this summer and was nice enough to do that.
There you go.
Yeah, look at this guy. I mean, he's looking good. He's ready to win this tournament, too, I have a feeling.
Looks looking good, bowling good, hopefully.
Judging by my ball reaction yesterday, I'm going to need some help.
Uh-oh. Straighter angles better or something, or?
They seem to be, for sure, at the start. You just can't give the pocket away. I couldn't get it. Hitting the pocket was not a problem. It was making my ball roll through the pins the right way. That was the tough part. And I found a trick that worked towards the end of practice, but I can't tell if that's because it was the end of practice and they started to open up or because I really found the trick. We're going to find out today.
You bowl on the B squad today, is that right?
That's right, yeah.
And then, yeah, we've got a star-studded quality field again, as always, as Joe Engelkiss and his crew always gets a great field. You know, we got Tom Hess is going to be bowling C squad today. Unfortunately, he hasn't been able to defend or year after defend, I guess, his Masters title. But that's a tough tournament to win. I mean, Pete Weber's never won it, and we're watching it here in the building here a little bit. It looks like Belmonte's still alive, Stu Williams still alive over on Extra Frame.
Satan. Heard Malot's alive, and God, who's the other one?
Wes Malott is bowling insanely well this week.
Yeah, that's pretty nice. I get to watch bowling in front of me and bowling behind me.
Right.
Yeah, we got
bowling everywhere today.
We got it going on. Put your records on, I think is how the song goes. But Steve, you know, like we said, you know, great to have you here with us. Steve Richtor from the Wisconsin area. Let's go over this resume. Let's go over these Eagles. I know you've got a doubles Eagle with Jeff.
Right.
All right, ding, ding, ding. All right, I win round one.
Yeah, exactly. Can you tell me the year?
Oh no, no, that's not my forte. I can break down a game up here or BS with the best of them, but when it comes to actually pulling out the cold hard facts, it just ain't gonna happen. And then is it 2 team titles?
We the year that we won doubles, we also won team all events. That was in 2005 in Baton Rouge, and then 2011 we won the team event in Reno.
Baton Rouge, home of Huang Hong, casino host. And I kid you not, that was seriously the casino host of Baton Rouge.
That's right.
And Jeff introduced me to Huang Hong, and ended up getting a really nice suite down there. So if Huang Hong is listening today, Huang, thank you. We'll see you when we go back, hopefully to Baton Rouge again. So doubles title, team all events, and then of course that unbelievable team event out there in Reno, where you guys were actually being followed around because Jeff was getting into the Hall of Fame, and Matt Lawson and the folks over at USBC were able to capture those moments. How incredible was it in that moment when you guys, you know, you guys have all this planning and all these blogs and stuff Jeff writes, and then you actually went out and you made it happen again. How amazing was that?
I think the best word that I can use to describe it is surreal. You know, when you're in the moment and sort of in dead stroke, and you know the pattern's coming to just what you planned for. You know, just to see it all happen and be a reality is, you know, it's the things that dreams are made of. And it's hard to sometimes stay in the moment and take shot after shot because you know, it can be too easy to press and actually make bad shots trying to make the perfect shot.
Do you ever have bad days at home, or does Jenny ever get on your nerves, or you have just one of those bad days? And I can just imagine you like going up to the attic like in Christmas Vacation and pulling out the projector, and do you watch that team broadcast back ever so often just to get some chills and get motivated?
Every once in a while, but I'll be honest, I fast forward to game 3.
Right. Well, that sucks because I think I was on the broadcast in game 2. They let me in the booth for a little while up there. So
I'll tell you, I wore out the DVD for 2005 doubles event, and then watching the singles and having our team take over team all events. I can't even tell you how many times I've looked at that. So maybe I'm over it. I'm more mature now. I don't know.
Yeah, you've grown up, and we're proud of you. Steve Richtor joins us in the booth. Lee Boudouris, Mike Flanagan.
I think I fell asleep on that broadcast. I was probably sick of listening to you.
Well, you probably were. And I remember it was actually the part of the first game is when you guys didn't even get out to a great start. It was the second and third game where you guys really dialed it in.
Yeah, the first game I think we got to just about 1100. Or just under it, and that was really thanks to Mike Shady and Gail Myers. I think they, if I remember right, between the two of them, they were 130 over, and the rest of us were just kind of surviving. I remember Mark and I both split in the 8th and 10th on the right lane, which could have been a ton more, but we just got caught up in thinking that we had to throw the ball better, and the truth is we had to get out of the balls that we were in. And it took us a while to do that, and you know, once we made the right switch, it took a little bit to get lined back up again. So game 2 is even a little slow, but once we got things dialed in, they just started falling. And I mean, we had a lot of luck there too.
We're reliving the USBC Open Championships out in Reno from a few years ago, where Steve Richtor was part of that winning team with Gail Myers Jr. and Jeff Riggles, Mark McDowell, and Mike Shady. That's a pretty good team. And this year, you guys are doing something a little different. No longer the Turbo 2-in-1 team, although you guys still have a great affiliation with that great company. But you guys are actually going to be Jeff's 11thframe.com team. Talk a little bit about, that and what the plan is there.
Well, I think the first thing I have to acknowledge is in no way us switching is any reflection on Turbo 2-in-1 grips. They've supported us immensely. They're great people. Lori's always treated us fantastic. And in fact, we're still going to have an affiliation with them. But inside the 11thframe.com is our title sponsor now. And there's a lot of cool things that are being worked on between yourself and Jeff, I think, that are going to be really exciting for bowling, not just for us, in the coming years. I'm really excited about it.
Now, have you guys already started your preparation per se, or do you have to wait until the pattern comes out, which is probably another week or so, right?
I'm going to answer that two ways.
All right.
The really serious strategy making, testing, drilling equipment, sharing information, that will start after the pattern's released and we've had a chance to bowl on it and start to make some judgments based on what we're seeing. But in truth, I think I speak for all of our teammates, not just the 5 on my team, but the 5 on the other team also. Is
right.
Truthfully, we're practicing all year. League is practice for us. And I think I've always had that perspective where, scores are nice, they're fun to do, but the reality is we want to be the people that make shots when they count, because we may be in a position where we need that when we get out there, and that's not meant to sound egotistical or anything of that nature. We just understand that there's going to come a time when you really need one and you want to be up there throwing your best shot.
Good stuff. Yeah, I was talking with Jeff about it. You guys bowl on May 17th and 18th.
I'll trust you on that.
Well,
I know when I'm leaving.
Well, I was talking to Jeff about it because I'll actually get into town on the 17th.
Oh, nice.
So we'll get to watch you guys bowl on the 18th, and we bowl on the 20th and 21st. And
yeah.
I think Mike bowls on the 19th and 20th, so we're all going to be out there
and as I
about the
understand
same
it,
time.
Yeah, there's a lot of good players out there. Mike Peters, Scott Rains, Jeff Carter is joining their team this year. Tom Adcock, who's right in front of us here.
Right.
Jason Queen, they're out a day before us, so there's a lot of great players. The former Browning Pontiac team with Steve Fair was there actually on our squad, and I think they're keeping it the same this year. Chuck Grote and Clay Reese, who I believe are on C Squad today here at this tournament, they were out at the same time. So yeah, you used to think at that tournament, if you got past April 30th and were in the lead, you were a lock, and it's not the case any longer. And people are going later and later, making vacations out of it.
Right.
Yeah. Hey, Steve. Joe Engelkist runs a great event when Clay Reese and Chuck Grote are making the trip out all the way from Utah.
I actually was going to send those guys a message on Facebook and ask really what their motivation was, because I'm really curious. That
I know what it is.
There's a giant. That's a huge commitment, not only in time and distance and expense, to come to a tournament like this, and I think that's a testament to the kind of event Joe runs.
I'm going to tell you exactly what it is.
All right.
Those guys are unbelievably great bowlers that go to some of the biggest tournaments in the country with the best paybacks, and they're statisticians. They're very analytical. And when they see an event here in Waterloo, Iowa with such a great payback and 10,000 added, to them it's worth the trip. It's worth it to come out here. And, I think everybody should make the trip here if you can, because how many tournaments have a payout of over 100% of money collected?
Right.
Not many. And I think that's why they're making that trip. And they actually found out about it through all this stuff going on InsideBowling.com, our website. And those guys have signed up for the IB Open. They're actually making the trip to St. Louis. And
Nice.
I don't know if you know this or not, but Roger Norhoke, he's going to be coming in town and being part of that event as well, along with Randy Peterson.
I did just hear that this week, and I think those are great additions for the event. But to your point about the guys coming in from Utah, I think I understand that. I mean, you know, when I was younger, bowling was the primary thing I did, and wherever it was, that's where I went. And you know, now that I have a family and 2 fantastic kids, you know, my priority shifted, and I never thought I'd be that guy. But that's the reality, and so when there's events going on, I have to make time for it, and it becomes a, you know, looking at events exactly like this, where you know, solid payout, very fair pattern, quality people running it and bowling in it. You know, these are the ones where they're compelling enough to make time in my schedule where other events may not be that way. And again, that's no bang on the other events. It's just a you know, where am I going to invest my time as I grow older? I don't want to admit I'm old, but that's the reality now. You know?
Well, you look great.
Jenny keeps me looking okay.
In your red, white, and black outfit today. I really like it.
I have to give her credit. She actually picked those out. Those
yeah,
colors.
that looks good. We're watching lanes 13 and 14 here. Fusion Realtors Open.
It's
and
like Jacob Boudouris has spare 7-bagger.
Yeah, it's a nice score going on.
I got to tell you, I met Jacob 2 years ago out at Junior Gold, and Lenny introduced me. And I remember seeing he had a lot of tilt in how he got rid of the bowling ball. So his ball went a long way, and then when it let go, it was pretty sideways. And yesterday was the first day I saw him bowl since then. And I'm really impressed with the work that he's done on his game. He's much more up the back of it now, in control. Has a real good feel for the lane, you know, just like his dad.
Yeah, that helps.
Doesn't look afraid to play any part of the lane. If I'm not mistaken, he's going to Clark College?
Yes. And if you're a right-hander in college, you got to play anywhere from 1 to, in this case, the red board.
I can tell you some great things about Clark College, and if you want to watch Jacob bowl, you can actually head over to our YouTube channel, and you can watch the Clark Invitational that we did 2 weeks ago. It's all archived on our YouTube channel. Christopher Uffman ran a great event, and we were happy to bring that to you live from Dubuque. Just 2 weeks ago, Matt Turek and I were on the call, along with Brett Cunningham.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun, that tournament.
Looks like they put new pins in here. Those of you that are listening at home, if you hear the loud crashing in the background, we were like right up on the lanes. We were not. I don't think we've ever had an event where we've ever been closer to the lanes. And with this new wood in here, boy, it's got to be coming through loudly at home.
Well, I want to direct your attention here to 14. There's Jacob here. He's up in the 10th frame with 290 working. His first shot is on the lane, and it is buried. Carry that one for nice string.
He's down there with 2 USBC Hall of Famers. One he calls Dad. The other one he calls the goofball, who he's been around his entire life. And now here he is saying, "Take that, you 2 turkeys." We're on a live stream pair, and it's time to show everybody there's a new sheriff in town.
Well, Riggle's still can't carry that one. He'll still have a solid game in the high 230s. Left in the dust by the youngster, though.
Yeah, Jacob told me he drilled that rotogrip disturb he's throwing right now basically before they came here. So clearly that was a good choice. He's got a great shape to his shot right now, and it's going through the pins the right way.
When you look at that rotogrip line, you got a rotogrip jersey on today, Steve. We know you have an affiliation with Storm Bowling Products and the folks out in Utah, but I can tell you that watching the Masters and watching some of the telecasts most recently, you can see that the rotogrip line is really taking their equipment to the next level with the Disturbed. We saw Pete Weber shoot 860 at the Vegas Swing, the World Series of Bowling, with the Berserk, and then the Disturbed and the Defiant Soul are some great products made by Roto-Grip right now. It's great to see Chris Schlimmer and all the folks over there at Roto-Grip step up their games a little bit and make some great equipment.
Yeah, you know, I think Chris has injected a different thought process onto how the motion should look on the lane, the colors that they choose. Not that anybody did a bad job beforehand. It's just a different set of eyes looking at it. Plus, he has all this experience from the tour and the feedback that he's gotten out there. And, you know, that's truly the proving ground as to, you know, what balls are going to end up being at events like this is how good do they roll.
If you're watching live online, we welcome you into this broadcast. We also want to let you know about our Twitter feed. If you send out a tweet, hashtag Inside Bowling, maybe you have a question for Steve Richtor, do a tweet to us, hashtag Inside Bowling. We'll get it up on the screen and we'll get your questions answered as quick as we can here from Waterloo.
Got a note, Mike, in the chat. No, you can't see it, from Chris Huffman. Said Jake Boudouris was part of a trio team that almost broke the Wisconsin scoring record this past week. He shot his first 800, was 856. Oof.
That's a big number.
Yeah, Chris Huffman. You know, my hat's off to this guy. He had us come out for this Clark invite, and we got there, and everything was already set up. He knows what he's doing, and running that collegiate event is always not easy with a women's and a men's division and getting all the lane assignments. But what a joy to work with that great tournament director. And if you're a college team out there looking for something to bowl next year, make sure you contact Chris Huffman over at Clark University and see if you can't get your team to be part of that thing, because we look forward to bringing that event to you for many, many years to come.
I've known Chris for a long time, Mike, since he was the assistant coach at Michigan State a few years ago. And wandered his way over here. Pretty good guy. Nice game here on 12 as well for got 280 left. Be able to see that on the left side of your screen.
Steve Richtor, we got a little shout out here in the chat. Loose 5682 says, tell Richter not to drink all the beer at Beck's this weekend.
Andy, all right, done.
Too late.
Too late, all right.
Is Beck's a supporting sponsor again this year at this event? I know they were last year.
They're under Budweiser now, right?
Are they?
Is that right?
I believe Budweiser is
Budweiser
the sponsor
is
of the tournament.
sponsor, yeah, but we're not sure if Beck is part of that.
It's tough to keep track of that these days, even in St. Louis.
Yeah, there are a lot of sponsors for this tournament.
You know, I can't even fathom the amount of work that Joe must go through to not only sell this event, but then you know, get people to commit to it, and the dollar value is just phenomenal. I mean, scratch bowling is not dead, and this is an this is evidence of that. I mean, the fact that there's a waiting list for 180 people in basically a snowstorm that probably scared a lot of people driving long distances, and we're still full. You know, it's a great testament to the work that he does, and he's a good guy, really good guy.
And he's bowling. C-Squad. Get a chance to make some of that hard work pay off.
Right.
Probably, looks like they're all finished on 13 and 14. Can't reach over to flip our screen there, Matt. So 277 for the younger Boris and 238 for Jeff, and scores one away. 194 for Lenny.
So you guys were here during practice session. I was not.
We didn't make it yet.
You didn't make it yet?
Yeah, we
made
missed
it
the
for
practice session.
the scholarship tournament last night, but
How'd
that
that
was
go?
it. A lot of kids with a lot of talent, that's for sure.
Nice.
And just talking with a few of the people there, a lot of people came a long way for a Friday night youth tournament. People from Illinois, all over Iowa, kids from Wisconsin.
All right, looks like we're joined here by Rob Gotchall, sitting down here to my left. Let's see if we can get him on the booth cam shot here. Let's see. Oh.
Others, you gotta turn it.
There he is. There he is.
There he is.
Go ahead and say hi to everybody out there.
How's it going, guys?
It's going pretty good there.
Yeah, Rob's one of those guys I was telling you about yesterday that had just about every ball rolling through the pins the right way.
See you on B squad, right?
Yes, that's
All
correct. Scores seem a little high so far.
Yeah, I have seen a few high games. At least half of these scores are up over 220. Seems like every pair has got a decent game. You're watching 5 and 6 right now, which should be Jason Mesher, Mike Webb, and Aaron Moffitt.
And a late edition we don't have on the sheet.
Yeah, we don't have the late edition yet.
So we got 59 on this squad, and I believe the other two are full.
So Rob, how do you you work for Storm, or how's that work?
No, I'm actually self-employed.
Okay.
I'm a bowler. I own a small company, and I've been on Storm staff now for just about a year. I was with Hammer for 10 years and just switched over to Storm and Rotogrip about a year ago.
Oh, there you go.
Got a Storm question for Steve here in the chat for a pattern such as this. Long, lots of juice out there. What kind of layouts are you using today?
You know, good question. By the way, hi John. Miss you. Haven't seen you in a while. Good thing that you're on the chat here. I think I'm gonna take this opportunity to introduce something that's kind of new also to the market. I think on longer patterns like this, it's easy to get tricked. I saw a lot of people yesterday using very coarse bowling balls, and it just tore the pattern up. The one thing that's a big X factor here is, even though this is a 30 microliter volume, this is a very hooking surface. I mean, their league pattern, I hear, is 29. So even though there's a lot of volume out on the lane, the lane doesn't play that tight. It actually hooks quite a bit, and I think, Rob, you can attest to that. There was a lot of people using shiny stuff even yesterday, and we're seeing a little bit of that now. So as far as drillings go, the trick is making your ball pick up at the right spot on the lane. I'm actually going with something fairly medium, fairly mild. I have a couple balls that'll work good. It's just which one's going to go through the pins the right way. But I'll tell you, I'm going to shamelessly plug Storm's new vector layout system that Victor Marion and Hank Boomershine developed. It's a predictive model that'll tell you, based on bowler attributes and ball attributes, and then when you tell it, here's what I'm looking for that ball to do based on these variables, it literally tells you how to drill a bowling ball. And it's coming out now with the sync seminars that they're doing across the country, and I'm stunned at how well it can predict layouts for balls on certain patterns. And just as an example, I took my existing equipment and I ran it sort of backwards based on the variables for this tournament, and I had two balls that fit what it said would work, and I was really surprised how well those rolled through the pins yesterday, especially on the fresh. I think my challenge is going to be making sure I don't get locked into that and just trust my eyes. But that's going to become available eventually on the website, and it's going to be free.
Nice.
But it's amazing because some of the layout suggestions it comes out with are not things that you would normally think of, and then you watch it go down the lane, and you know it's very surprising. And I was showing Jeff Riggles this last night when we were at dinner, and we did an example of a sync on this pattern based on variables that he and I agreed on that he was like, and how you'd want the ball to pick up on the lane, and then I drew the picture of what that looked like, and he was pretty surprised that would actually work. And then we actually had some videos that showed what that motion looks like, and it's surprising how well it can go through the pins.
Any idea when that'll come out on the website?
Unfortunately, I don't. Although I do know that anybody that's attended a sync seminar right now, any pro shop, got a jump drive with that program on it. And we've been testing various versions of it in our pro shop for the better part of 9 months, but this is the most complete version I've seen, and it's one of those things you got to see it to believe it.
Right, so it's one of the added bonuses of the Inside Bowling Open at the end of April is that if you enter, your entry includes a storm ball of your choice.
Yeah, exactly.
So if you don't know what to get, like me, something like that would be helpful. I'm sure they'll have something
guys.
like that at the tournament.
Looks like the standings have been updated for game number 1 here. If you go to the InsideBowling.tv page and you scroll down below the chat and below the window, you'll see the Twitter feed. You go even below that, and there are tabs posted. The only one up there right now is game 1 standings. You can see who is leading.
And that is?
That is Troy Fueller with a 270 game. He's plus 70 there. Running out second is Gabe Bartlett with 254, and then Shannon Buchan with 248. That's the top 3. Jeff Riggles is sitting 4th with 246. And then Lenny Borish is 239. There's your top 5 right now. And you can check those standings out at InsideBowling.tv, and then scrolling all the way down to the bottom of the page where it says Game 1 standings. And you guys can scroll through them standings yourself to find your favorite bowlers, see where they're placing.
What's, just as a guess, what's 19th or 20th looking like?
19 through 20th.
It's right around plus 10.
Plus 10?
Yeah, 19 is plus 11 with Justin Weber. 20th is Leon Brewer with 211. There's 3 211s.
All right.
18, 19th, and 20th.
So 64 bowlers out of however many we have. So that will be the number to get to. If you're on your way to the bowling center, the standings are also scrolling on the television behind us.
You guys are a full-service live streaming company, aren't you?
Pretty much.
Yes, we are. Just one step below ESPN, as we like to say. without the trucks and the producers leaning over our shoulders.
Well, we've got that.
Yeah.
His name's Mike Flanagan.
Yeah. It's a good thing you don't have the headsets on right now.
So we're starting game 3 here. They're skipping 1, so get some.
Yeah, I'm trying to get ahead of all of us and make sure I got all the names right on each pair. So this is game 3.
Right.
On lanes 5 and 6, we should have Rob Amers, Kenny Calkins, Dave Carter, and Dwayne Kiltz on lanes 3 and 4. We're watching that pair right, or 5 and 6. I apologize there. Lanes 5 and 6. They have started their 3rd game. I'm still working on 13 and 14's pairings.
What would be the pair to the left of Adcock?
Kyle Anderson, right?
Right, Kyle Anderson, Matt McLaughlin, Chris Parker, and Nick Atkinson. I don't always find that grouping by the. No, never mind. I thought the guy in the pink Argyle shirt was on there, but he's on the other side of Jeff. Yeah, pink and black shirt and pink and black pants today.
Looks like we've got a follow-up question from John Pesh.
All right.
What ideas would you give a bowler that doesn't match up well with too much surface as far as equipment choice? I think the big thing there is you want a chemically stronger bowling ball. The chemistry of the cover stock is what I mean by that. And something asymmetrical, something that's going to change direction once it sees friction or change direction while it's still in the pattern. So it starts to face itself up before it gets to the end.
Okay, action is underway here. Now game 3. They are bowling pretty quick. They bowl 7-game blocks here. And Rob, are you going to be bowling here today or?
Yeah, I'm on B squad today.
B squad today. Okay, so you kind of get a little look at how the lanes are going to be breaking down. Are they re-oiling?
Yes, absolutely.
Between each squad. Okay,
yes.
So that should be make things a little fair.
I have a question for Rob. You started straighter yesterday playing out.
Yes.
Based on what you see here today, do you think that that's got a shot like you tried yesterday?
I actually think it's going to be about a zone left of that. I don't think you can play him as direct on the fresh today. Just from what I noticed, I mean, you need to. Everybody should try for the first 5 minutes of practice, because Regal's pair. I mean, everybody played out for about 5 minutes, and then they just jumped to zone left and banked it right off of it. And I mean, 11 and 12 might be the most walled pair in the building right now.
Right. He came up and made sure I knew that the last 4 frames nobody missed.
Yeah, Clayton Moore from Minnesota had 280 going on that pair the last game, and he was throwing a shiny Deviate Diva, just bouncing it right off the hook spot. I just think it's going to be hard to play straight because there's going to be a lot of people using surface, like you said a minute ago, and they're going to be a little left of that. I just think they're going to be migrated towards the track 10, 11, 12, where I had a really good look in the practice session up about 6, 7, 8. But once I moved into those people, my ball hooked as soon as it hit the lane.
And then you're jumping over the top of them.
Exactly.
You know, I think that the X factor that's going to happen here is as B squad walks in and sees where A is finishing up, if they see him, playing, say, 18 to 24, somewhere in that range, they're probably just going to figure, well, that's where they ended. I'll just go there and wait for it.
Yep.
And as the day goes on, they could actually get worse because they weren't broken down the right way.
Right.
You're exactly right. I mean, it was the same way at the Masters this week. If you ever bowl the Masters, you always want to bowl B squad, because A squad the first day plays them flawlessly, and then they're just walled up for B squad.
Yep, hope you're watching us in the Masters at the same time if you have that capability. I do like their scoring app with all the scores for the different names they put out this year.
Yeah, that's pretty neat. I know last Friday morning I was watching the qualifying there, and you could have one browser window open, which would be just live scoring across the whole house, and then you could have the other browser window open watching the featured pairs.
What happened to our extra frame feed up there?
Well, we had to take it down just to get the standings going there. Johnny Pesh here in the chat wants to go out on a limb and thinks he's going to see a little gutter cap lofting today. What do you guys feel about that? Do you think they're going to be? Think the shot's going to be there?
I don't know if you're going to see it as much this squad, because they did play fairly far out. You could see it in the squads later today when you get a few of the younger players bowling. The one tough thing, though, is that the ball returns are very long here.
Yeah, I did notice that.
And when you're on the right lane, I hope that scares enough people to stay away from, trying to jump in there too fast with too much surface.
Right.
But the volume in the middle is a lot. I mean, there's a lot.
Yeah, it's 30, 31 milliliters.
Yeah, the front goes away, but that volume in the middle down the lane doesn't really go away. I mean, in a 2-hour practice session yesterday, there was still plenty of oil in the middle of the line.
Yeah.
And with only 4 on a pair, I think it's got a better chance of holding up.
Yeah, you're
than
gonna,
other tournaments.
I think you're going to see some guys get in there just to play the fallback, but I don't think it's necessarily where the whole field's going to do it, much like the Fusion back in September at the other bowling center.
Yeah, and I think every pair is going to be just a little different, depending on how they broke the track down. I mean, some pairs you might throw the ball to the hook, to make it go through the pins the right way, and other pairs you might play the hold and just get it like a fallback position where you just get the ball to lay right at the pocket and go through kind of straight.
All right, guys, we're going to jump over here to 13 and 14. There's that young man there from St. Ambrose University. How's he bowling?
Yeah, I don't know his name, but we saw him last night.
He led the junior sweeper last night at 87 over for 5 games.
That's Kyle Anderson, right?
I believe that's his name.
I do believe, yeah.
Where is St. Ambrose University?
I think it's in Iowa.
It's in Iowa. I'm not sure where in Iowa. Somebody will help us out out there.
I think it was closer to Dubuque because they had quite a few teams at that Dubuque Open college tournament we went to a few weeks ago.
Yep. Sure, Chris. It's in Davenport.
Davenport. That's not that far away.
Yeah, he just kind of grinded it out last night. I was here for the junior sweeper, and he grinded it out for the first 3 games, and then he went 240, 220 the last 2, and made his move.
That's how you got to do it. Anybody know the name of that young lady who had the, I think it was a Storm jersey on last night? She seemed to throw the ball really good.
She had that North Point, I think it was a junior gold jersey from this last year.
Okay.
I don't know her name, but
she threw a great. She got more hand than I do.
She had quite a bit of hand.
She had more hand than Matt, she had more hand than Mike, and she had more hand than me, so.
Yeah, and maybe even more ball speed than me. Rebecca Borman, that's her. Thanks to the chat, McGolf12. You just can't beat our fans here at Inside Bowling. We refer to them as the smartest fans in bowling. They always seem to correct us. We always welcome that correction.
We've already got Game 2 standings up on the screen behind us.
Okay,
and we're only 4 frames into this game on some pairs.
That's Speedy Gonzalez. Let's check to see if they are updated online here.
Yeah, they are. Jeff Regal's leading after game 2 at 84 over.
Flanagan.
Yeah, it looks like they just have. Oh, okay, I see how this is working. So they're updating Game 1 standings tab each game. So we might need to figure out how to change that.
Yeah, so we got Jeff Regal's leading at 84 over. Second is Gabe Bartlett. Third, Matt Wetgen. Fourth, Jason Guess. And Jacob Boudouris is 5th at plus 70.
That 19th was 21 over, 20th was 14 over, so that number you have to be at really didn't 210, give or take.
We do have their scores there. Jeff Riggles is starting out pretty solid there, 246, 238, and then Gabe Bartlett 254, 224. So that's a fairly nice set there. It seems that the highest score I can see so far is Jacob Boudouris with the 277 there in Game 2.
Again, we're bowling 7 game blocks.
That's correct.
Nice round number.
This kid on lane 14, I'm not sure I have the kahunas to wear the pants that he is wearing. I like the pants, but I'm not sure that I can pull them off.
How'd you like to see those pants on the gentleman down there with the plaid and black?
Yeah, the Argyle, the pink and black Argyle.
With the white belt, of course.
They say the white belt adds 11 pins a game.
Yeah.
That's the only reason I wear one.
There you go. There's a few guys in my league on Mondays, the lowest average of the group has to wear the pair of pants picked out by the rest of them. They look exactly like that, except they're orange instead of pink.
Rhino Page style?
Not as bright, more like a 70s, 80s look.
Yeah, with the bell bottoms going on even, or what?
No, they're not. They're just that color. And I'm not a part of this friendly wager, thankfully.
All right, guys, I just want to remind you that you're watching game number 3 finishing up here at the Fusion Realtors. Matt Turek alongside Lee Boudouris with special guests Steve Richtor and Rob Gotchall. Stream's looking pretty good. We're up to about 38 viewers at the moment, which is fairly good for this early in the morning. Stream seems to be working out pretty well. Bowlers are bowling fairly well, or fairly quickly here. Already halfway done with this game, game number 3.
It's like the thing I like about Jeff. He's leading the tournament, and you never know it when he comes up and starts yapping with you about Jake.
But you know when he's not leading the tournament, though.
This is true.
I think that's what makes Jeff and I such a unique doubles pairing. Is I'm not at all like him, and so we have sort of complementary personalities that way. If we were both the same, one of us would be useless. We wouldn't have a doubles team then, I don't think.
Okay, and then if you scroll down to the bottom of your screen here, make sure you're on the InsideBowling.tv page. You'll be able to see that they've updated through game number 2, and they've also added another tab, which is individual scores for the A squad block here. It's the same thing I have in front of me here. That way you can see what they shot each game, showing you that Jeff Riggles is still on top with Gabe Bartlett shortly behind him.
I think there's another error, Matt, on our sheet when it comes around. It's got 5 people that started on 23 and 4, and why would they do that when they've got a pair with 3?
Yeah, so I did notice that there are a few things going on. Yeah, 23 and 24 has 5, 25 and 26 has 5, 27 and 28 has 3.
Yeah, I'm sure those just got moved around, and they just
they probably tried to fill. Yeah, and didn't.
I just don't want to try not to call anybody out by the wrong name.
Yeah,
more than we already do.
I try to get the pairings for each game here. It's just too much right now for me to get going on. So we'll let you know about who's who here as we find out as they hit each pair.
I feel like this jersey, Matt, on 5 and 6 for.
It's
like a monster,
jersey.
like a dirt bike jersey. Something like that.
Looking pretty cool.
Throw that with the pink pants and see what you get. The Hammer says it's good to hear that Satan is in the booth. Who's that?
Yeah.
Not me.
Which one's Satan?
Oh.
You guys don't know who Satan is?
It's a rough nickname.
I want to know who Hammer 22 is. Oh, that's Mike Cunningham.
Oh.
Somebody's in the chat calling it Satan.
No, him.
No, that's Steve Richter's nickname, Satan.
funny. We were on the live stream this past year for our team event at Baton Rouge, and my parents watched, and it was the first time that my dad had watched one of those. And I get home and he says, "Honestly, what does Satan mean? What is that all about?"
Wow.
Lots of fun, and we have a good time with it.
Our young left-hander here on 14. Got a nice game going again. Double, spare, 4 in a row. Gets a lot on the ball, for sure.
Positive, I think, that it doesn't matter what you look like, it's how you get it done.
It's true.
Walter Ray, I think, is a lot like that. In the history of bowling, there's been a lot of unique characters, but you know how you get it into the lane and through the pins is what it's all about.
And if you can repeat it.
Right.
Right.
And Walter still bowling at the Masters. He came into his match right now with like an 18-pin lead and 4-bagger to take command from the Colombian national team member.
How many are
left?
left?
Otalora, let's see, started with 16,
I could,
down
pull
to
up
12.
the bracket. 12.
So after
Walter'd be going for his 3rd title there,
right.
too.
Yeah, Walter shot 631 that block, and his opponent won't shoot 6.
Do you guys see the video of Machuga striking out in the 10th to shoot 532 to win his match?
To win by a pin.
Yeah.
Right.
And he hadn't struck on that lane in a while.
3 steps in front of a long ball return. And
What are you doing, Mike? It's causing trouble.
I was just I'm trying to add another headset, so maybe 5 of us can be in the booth at one time. So I had to disconnect you guys for a second. You guys didn't hear that at home. That was just us here locally.
And well, it's 3 of 3. I'm looking at the match between Mika and John Janowitz, and Mika won by 2.
Does he have 1 or 2 Masters titles? He's a U.S. Open.
I think he has 1.
Tournament of Champions and Masters.
I think just 1 each, I think.
Yeah. We are seeing some big games in front of us here.
Yeah, scores are starting to tick up here.
I heard that, Gail.
Speaking of Machuga, he's got to do it again.
Really?
He came into this match behind Mr. Belmonte by 15. Belmonte shot 251. Machuga's stepping up in the 9th with 277 left. So he just needs 267, so he needs 2 hits. Just 2 this time. He doesn't need the 3rd one.
Well, if he gets it again, that's a pretty good bet to make the show. You know, everything's on his side, matching up the right way. I've always liked how he throws it.
Hey guys, can you hear me right now?
Hello? Can you hear me, Matt?
I can hear.
All right,
I can
good.
hear you, Lee.
Don't mind me.
There he is. There's
Oh,
Mike Flanagan.
he's in there a little bit.
You guys got me?
Yeah, I
just
hear ya.
through the right channel.
Just out of one side?
Yep.
All right, I'll work on that. I might be able to get in here.
Can
We're expanding our horizons here.
yeah, you're just coming through on the right channel there,
Okay,
Mike.
no problem. I think I got another splitter. Don't mind me. Mike Flanagan here. Mike Flanagan Tour, 3rd week in a row. Worn out.
You've definitely put in some miles, Mike.
Yeah, that poor car of his is squeaking and complaining the whole way over here. He's really logged some miles on that vehicle. Well, guys, I got the broadcast up here, the extra frame broadcast.
That's, I think you got an archive. That's just, there's way too many people on that shot.
Post-tournament Pro-Am, maybe? I don't know.
They're still bowling.
So let's head on down here to 5 and 6, where the bottom right bowler there, Calkins, is going for a six in a row here to finish the game.
Yeah, 246. It's also a 257 finished on that pair, and a 249 with one fill.
Yeah. It's another high scoring. There's Calkins' shot. That was a beautiful ball.
He's got Brunswick, Deviate, and Monster on his shirt. I like it. They just clicked the scores off, unfortunately, on me. Wish they'd keep them up a little bit longer after the matches are over.
Yeah, there are a lot of good games there on 5 and 6. So let's head on over to 13 and 14 here, guys, and talk about this gentleman from St. Ambrose. What's he got going on?
Shooting a 7-pin, he can still make it to 258.
It's a great game. Great game.
Covers that. So if somebody can tell us who won that match between Chugs, see if he could step up again in the 10th, let us know. Matt, do you know when Tim Barrett bowls? Which squad? I think it's the B squad.
I can definitely check for you.
Mighty Mouse.
He is on B squad.
Is he on B squad?
One of the cooler things I got to see last year was him winning the Peterson.
Yeah, that was awesome. That was a good job for him. Very good job for him. And we got, ooh.
I just got a text that Machuga lost his match.
Oh.
Got the first one in 8 spare, 436, 421. That doesn't seem like enough pins. Maybe that means, maybe that's supposed to say 636 to 621.
See if they put it on the bracket yet.
Kyle got another hit on 13 and 14. He can go up for 258.
258.
Have a question in the chat there for Steve. I want to know which squad you were bowling in.
B.
Steve is B squad.
All right, guys, I guess this isn't working.
Yeah, it's all staticky.
Yeah, I was trying to do something here.
Am I still coming out on one side?
No, you got both sides, but there's a lot of static.
Yeah, well, I'll fix that.
Oh, that's gone now.
Yeah, it's just me jostling these. Still one side, huh?
No, you're both sides now. You're good.
Really?
You are good. As long as we don't move these cables, there's be no static. The worst thing was the static there, Mike.
Let me do a mic check here. So, yeah, so it looks like I'm coming through pretty good now, both channels. How about that? Mike Flanagan joins you now in the booth. Look out, Mike Flanagan traveling tour here. First time ever we've had 5 people at one time in the booth. This is pretty exciting. We should get like a group photo or something. You see, there's me, and there's Matt, and there's Steve, and there's Lee hiding behind the computer screen over there. And Rob, can you get in the picture? There's Rob. You know, Rob, he needs to be a PBA League celebrity owner. He's, he's a heartthrob too, just like that Jesse Williams. Ladies, he's taking applications. I can tell you that right now. Jeez. You know, when I get in the booth, it gets disgusting.
Well, Kyle Anderson did strike out for 258.
Thank you, Lee, for keeping us on course. I really appreciate it when you do that. That is what Lee offers to this program, ladies and gentlemen.
One stick.
See, he's still talking about it.
He doesn't let you get off in a tangent.
No, which is fantastic. Lee, you complete me.
Which scares me.
Who's going with me besides Flipper here?
You know, one. Well, wow, one stick.
Matt Turek's going to have to go on assignment here in just a few and hook up another one of these computer screen Mac Minis we discussed. What are we going into game number 4, gentlemen?
We are.
Man, time is flying.
Yeah,
hey,
they are really bowling fast today.
Steve Richtor, isn't there a really good sports bar up here, if I remember correctly?
It's just down the street.
Yep, 3 blocks up, Beck's.
Oh, it is. It was called Beck's. Is that where we went last time?
Yeah, we're in the lower level.
Yeah. Oh, the lower level. You guys at home have no idea what happens on the lower level. There's a lot of things that happen on the lower level that we just can't talk about.
I think they had country karaoke last night.
Country.
Scenery was getting
karaoke.
Pretty nice by the time we left.
How about you and I go up and sing a little Lady Antebellum, Steve?
How about you do it and I'll watch?
I'll tell you,
that is.
I'll tell you what, Tina Stickney told me on Extra Frame that she enjoyed my commentary on Extra Frame because I sing. It's the first time that's ever happened.
And they let you back?
No, I'm not at the Masters this week.
That's why he had to go on his own 3-week road tour.
Yeah, right. Yep, but sweeping through the country. And then just to give you guys a heads up, I've already received 3 requests this weekend already. I just checked my email of live streaming requests for March.
And we do have a question about the pattern here. It's a 45-foot pattern, 3.66 to 1 ratio. It doesn't quite meet the sport compliant regulations, but it is challenging nonetheless. There are 30 milliliters of oil on the lanes there. So there you go, Mighty Mouse about the. I'm sorry, Kingpin about the pattern there.
Well, Mighty Mouse just wanted us to give a shout out to FJ.
Yeah, how about that?
John Crocklin from
St. Louis, Missouri. Making a run there through the match play. Got through a couple brackets there. Lost to
Wes Malott and Tommy Jones.
Yeah, man, that's a tough matchup.
I don't care who you are.
Hey guys, I got to tell you, one of my favorite names in the sport of bowling is Bolin. B-O-H-L-E-N, Quentin Bolin, and we've got him on our live broadcast. Could you imagine that? If you're born with Bolin, you got to be bowling.
How about Bob Bowler, Mike?
Yeah, Bowler, Bolin. But see, Courtney Crape taught us last weekend at the TMBA Reed Hawthorne. He said, inside bowling, got it going on, and I love those guys. And see, the TMBA tournament last week, we had such a great time. And I'm going to be uploading more and more of these interviews that we were doing. What a great event. It was impossible, though, calling 3 matches at once. I got to tell you that. Could you imagine Bo Burton and Chris Schenkel trying to call 3 matches at the same time?
Yeah, it would be challenging. But I think they would pull it off. They are the best of the best, weren't they?
I think Bo would still be talking about the shot thrown over on the other pair when it's already like 2 camera shots past, because he'd want to he'd want to break down the shot, but it was like impossible. It was like rapid fire. But you can go back and rewatch all of that on our YouTube channel. As a matter of fact, the finals has got over 1,200 views already in just about 3 days. So check that out. I'm sure you guys haven't seen enough bowling between the Masters and Extra Frame and all the other stuff, us all this weekend. But we're going to take at least a week or two hiatus before we go do something else. But
lots of possibilities for a tie from Bo if he was trying to do two
Oh,
matches at once.
yeah, no kidding. We have a possibility of a tie, partner, between match number 1 and match number 3.
Oh, Bo.
Ronnie Sparks has got a possible 229 left. Jasmine Coleman can also shoot 229. They're both going to win their matches, but I don't care because they will tie. Hey, by the way, hats off to the staff again. Joe Engelkeys and his wife and his daughter. Jennifer, his daughter, is the best in the business when it comes to getting you updates. She came up to us and she says, hey, get me set up again. And these standings are coming out like rapid fire.
They're updated before we can even pay attention to check to see if they are updated. And she's already handed me new updates here for game 2, and I imagine game 3 is going to be here within a couple frames.
Yeah, and to follow along at home, she should get that in between the second and third frame every game. You just go down below on your screen, and there's that little blue, like, it almost looks like the Storm Sync, Steve Richtor, Rob Gotchall, you Storm lovers. And you click that little button, and it almost syncs everything up, is what it does.
Yeah, it's like a refresh button.
It is. But we're going to just call it the sync.
Have you drilled a sink yet, Rob?
I have not. They are coming, but they were back ordered.
Shocker.
I mean, it's a good problem to have, though.
Right.
Did you guys hear about the new bowling ball company that I'm starting on my own?
Oh,
No.
God.
I
don't
can't
even
wait
wanna
to
know
hear
where
about
this is
this.
going.
Yeah, no, I'm starting my own ball company. We haven't figured out how to get them back up to the bowler yet, though. But I think my technology is going to make the game a little bit better, and I think my balls are going to out-carry everybody else's. I'm still waiting to get USBC approval on them, but I'm actually going to make the very first egg-shaped bowling ball. You're going to have to release it the same way every time, but if you do hit the pocket, you are going to have the most unbelievable carry percentage.
Yeah, I'm sure that'll be legal.
You should be the first guy to come up with a ball that splits into 2 and has a barbell go across it and go through the pins that way.
Yeah. You know, I did actually drill a huge hole in a bowling ball, and I filled it up with water and put a goldfish in there. And wanted to see if the fish swimming in one particular direction would help my bowling ball down lane. And you can actually see on our YouTube channel as well. I went to the USBC Open Championships last year, and I walked around with a video camera, and I interviewed all these different people there. And I actually spent a little bit of time in the scale room, and I actually told the guys that when I come a couple months later, that they need to check all my bowling balls because I was going to be putting nickels and quarters underneath my inserts to add more finger weight because I needed to get more length on that pattern. Oh, boy.
I like the look on your face when you told them that.
Oh, I know it. I know. What was funny is when I rounded the corner and I had my camera on, one of the guys was sitting like up on the countertop. And the minute he saw the camera, you should see him just jump down.
Yeah.
Like, oh no, here comes the camera. I got to get down off of this. He's like wiping his bottom a little bit, making sure he's all good to go. But you can find that on our YouTube channel. And hey, give us a like on Facebook and give us a follow on Twitter and subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can stay up to date with all the fun and interesting hokey things that we do. And if you're a bowling purist, you might want to unlike all of our stuff because we like to have fun. We try to put the fun in live streaming, and we get the best guests in the business like we have here today with Rob and Steve. And happy to have Matt and Lee along on this trip here at the Fusion Realtors Open. This is the A squad qualifying, by the way, in case you're just joining us. And we will be here for 2 more squads, B and C. And then tomorrow the top 64 are going to come back, and you're probably going to see names like Tom Hess, Gail Myers Jr., Gotchall, Richter, maybe a Riggles, maybe a Boudouris, and Jason Guest of the world. There's a great field here. And you can see all of our A-Squad competitors down below on your individual standings tab.
Mike, how is the good question in the chat? How the ball return is going to hold up for your egg-shaped ball?
Well, you know, we're looking into that right now. We're talking to Brunswick and AMF and Mendez. And
are they going to redesign their ball returns for you?
Mendez is the most forgiving right now. They're the ones that are trying to make this thing work. And, you know, Steltronic is actually trying to figure out how to incorporate the egg-shaped bowling ball into their custom graphics on their scoring system. So I'll get back to you guys later on my egg-shaped bowling ball situation.
How much R&D have you put into this idea?
Oh, about 73 months.
73 months.
Yeah. I think he said 7 or 3 months.
That makes more sense.
Yep. And as you see on the screen, danger, pin blasting area. Everybody, we do have our hard hats on today.
Yeah.
Steve, I'm a little worried about you, actually.
Why is that?
If you ever move west, I am going to send you a bunch of sun hats. Because I would not want your head to get damaged in any way whatsoever.
Well, I appreciate the concern.
It's a perfect head, and I wouldn't want this thing to get sunburned. Look how beautiful it is. I know Jenny's watching too. I know she is. The eagle duster that she is.
There should be plenty of sun for 2015 in El Paso.
Oh,
no. About 110 degrees in the middle of May.
Hey, Steve, I'm going to be there within 5 years, brother. Maybe even sooner. I was watching myself back on a broadcast recently, and Ronnie Sparks and I have the same looking back of the head. It's a problem.
Got to jump ahead of it before it takes you.
I know it. I know it. You got to pre-adjust. You got to shave that head. Have you guys ever pre-adjusted, Rob and Steve? Have you guys ever been out on a lane and you got like the first 6 and you're just like, I'm perfectly lined up, but I know they're going to break down. I'm just going to pre-adjust.
Oh,
of course.
Definitely.
Seriously, you'd be like on front 6 or 7 and you're just hitting the pocket perfectly and you just move aboard.
Oh, yeah. All the time.
Mm-hmm. You have to. And sometimes you're going to be right, and sometimes you're going to be absolutely wrong.
Have you ever pre-adjusted in like week 10 and just wanted to just beat your head in?
No, because I think the week 10 is better than a 3-6-10 or a big 4. Right? I mean, you just you just take it.
No, that's a good way to look at it. Now, let me ask you this: have you ever like plaqued 8-10 when you move one left?
Well, I'm not old enough for that yet.
I know you guys have left your fair share of 8-10.
Yeah, I was in junior league, I think.
With your low revolution.
As a junior.
I did leave one at on a fill ball at Team USA trials this year, which I happen to be the 6th oldest person in the field of 200 or whatever there was. And I was pretty embarrassed, but it was a fill ball, so it didn't matter.
Hey, there's some great new pictures up on our Inside Bowling Facebook page too, folks. I got pictures of these guys up in the booth. I've already tagged them in the photos. Jenny has already liked one of them, Steve. FYI.
Better come home with gifts, right?
Yeah, oh yeah. Yeah. Hey, what is it, Rob, that makes you come and bowl this event? Why is this one on the radar screen, and why are you here with so many events to bowl this time of year?
Well, I mean, the prize fund's really good. I mean, you're spending $120 to bowl for $3,500, but at the same time, 10th place is, I mean, $800, $900. There's good brackets, good field, scoring pace is controlled. You know me, I don't like a score war. Scores are going to be a little high, but it's just, I mean, there's decent money to be made, and it's not too far from home.
What's nice about this prize list, too, is this prize list is not top-heavy. Steve Richtor, tell us about this prize list a little bit from years past. You know, I know that it's kind of spread out. You know, he gets a full squad, but it's not your $7,000 on top. I think it's 3, roughly.
Yeah, I think, you know, again, talking, you may not have been on the, in with us here before when I was talking about you know, as things get busier in life and you have to make choices, when you have one that's real balanced like this, top to bottom, it makes it fairly easy to choose an event like this because, you know, you don't have to go win to make it worthwhile. You can just compete, and if I remember seeing right, the last person in tomorrow gets at least $200, so you're almost doubling your money just for making the cut, and that's almost unheard of at most tournaments that are around. You know?
I mean, this town is really, really behind bowling.
They are.
They've got, in the last year, I believe, $15,000 from the Convention and Visitors Bureau. Then you have Zach from Fusion Realtors. That's, I mean, he donates a good chunk of change every year, and they distribute it through the prize fund. It's not on top. And like, I bowled a tournament in Michigan 2 weeks ago. It was $12,000 for first, $5,000 for second, and $1,250 for third and fourth. I mean, if you don't finish in the top four, I mean, you're making a little, but you're driving a long way. There's weather. It was in a 16-lane center, 80 bowlers a squad, and they were hard. It was 6.5 hours to bowl a 5-game block.
How many squads?
There was 4 squads. There was
3 a.m. You're out of there.
The 7 p.m. squad that started at 9:45 at night finished at. They threw their last ball at 2:52 a.m. I did not bowl that squad, but yeah, and there was 305 entries, and top 32 made match play, and 32nd was 25 over.
So in Detroit or somewhere else?
This was in Grand Rapids.
Grand Rapids.
And I mean, the guy does a great job promoting it, got tons of bowlers. And I mean, he even asked, you know, what to do to make it better. And I said, just even out the prize fund. Like Steve said, there's good tournaments to bowl where you can make some money, but you don't have to win. Only one guy wins.
Yeah, when you have 300-some people going around again and again and again, it infinitely becomes more difficult.
Yep.
And I could easily see too, if you're bowling good, you drive an extra distance to go try something like that out, thinking you got a shot at it. But you know, it's a gamble.
Speaking of gambling, there's a great casino here. What's the name of the Isle?
The Isle of Capri.
The Isle of Capri. Beautiful rooms there, too.
Very nice.
Yeah,
very
nice
big.
Will you gentlemen be visiting that particular establishment later this evening?
I am staying there.
So
I can see
he
it
will
from
be
my
visiting.
hotel room, so
Is that
does that count?
Is that where you're staying, Steve?
No, I can see it from my hotel room.
Oh, okay. Are you going over there?
I'm sure.
Unlike Steve's doubles partner, Steve's the conservative one of the two, and he's not firing like Jeff does frequently.
Jeff gives me his bankroll and just says I need to take a withdrawal out, and I hand him like 100.
I gotcha.
That's always fun. It's like playing Monopoly. You're the banker. Speaking of which, this is a good question for all of us up in the booth. I'm going to ask each one of you. I'll start with Boudouris. If you were to play Monopoly, what little symbol, what little game piece would you be, and why?
I don't even remember what all of them are. We're gonna.
You can't Google that.
Well, they just introduced a new game piece. I don't know if you guys know this or not. Yeah, the new editions are going to have new game pieces. I'll have this research for you in just a minute. The cat is the newest game piece.
A cat?
It is replacing the iron.
Really?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yep, Monopoly game piece, in with the cat, out with the iron.
Is that because people don't iron anymore?
Or is it a sexist thing or something?
They just pay people to do their clothes now?
Yeah, so basically the surviving tokens are the race car, the Scotty dog, a battleship, a top hat, a thimble, and a shoe. And then they've got the new cat. So, Boudouris, out of those choices, which one are you on the Monopoly board?
This is where we go off the rails, boys. Ship looks cool.
The ship?
The ship looks cool.
All right. So you would be the ship. Any particular reason why, Lee? What does that say about your character?
Nothing.
Okay, Steve Richtor, which particular game piece would you be?
There you go.
When I was a kid, I was always the car.
Oh, he took mine.
Unless my sister set the game up, and then I'd have to resort to the top hat.
The top hat? Okay, any particular reason why the car and the top hat means something to you?
No. I hope we don't go into some psychological evaluation here as to what that means with me and my sister.
Well, you know, oh, okay. Well, I will tell you this. I will say that I would love to see you pull up to the USBC Open Championships right out front of the building in some convertible car with a top hat on in a very warm climate, protecting that head of yours.
Thanks for looking out for me.
I think the top hat actually makes a lot of sense for you right now. Matt Turek, which particular piece would you be? Would you be the car?
Well, I was going to be the car, but I'll have to pick something else here.
No, you don't have to pick anything else.
How about the wheelbarrow? I kind of like the wheelbarrow, huh? Just load it up with cash and houses and hotels, and I'll just carry it around with me everywhere I go.
All right, so we're talking about the new Monopoly Cat game piece, and nobody's picked that yet. Rob Gotchall, what would be your particular piece?
When I used to play as a kid, I used to always be the top hat for some reason. I don't know why.
You were the top hat, huh?
Yeah, I mean, maybe it was because the little Monopoly guy always had a top hat. And
kind of like the Planters Peanuts guy.
But I don't have a reason. I was just always the top hat.
Okay.
Mike Flanagan?
Well, I am always the dog. I am always the dog because I am a huge dog lover. I love animals. I love dogs, and it's pretty easy for me. And I truly believe this. If I ever won the lottery, I would open up like a huge plantation off of some exit, 4 or 5 exits outside of like a metropolis town, where you'd pull off, and it would just be like Flannyland, and there'd be all these dogs everywhere. And I would have veterinarians actually would like sign up to register volunteer to come out there. You get your dog groomed. It'd be like an animal dog park, and you can adopt pets, and we would take anybody in. We'd take dogs that had their legs chopped off because of animal cruelty, and we'd put little wheels on the front of them, and we'd wheel them around. And basically anybody, if you were ever having a bad day, it would be therapeutic. You would head out to old Flannyland dog country, and we'd have Halloween contests. We'd dress up the dogs in Halloween costumes. I mean, I put a lot of thought into this. It would be like the Days Inn for dogs.
How come the number of people on the live stream has just suddenly dropped?
Hey, we're at 66 now. It is actually gone up.
We're going up. So let me get this straight. So you would take the dogs with no legs, and attach like wheelchair devices
to them.
You
can Google search this. I put the harnesses on the front of them, and they put little wheels on the front, and their back legs get them around. They scoot around.
So then they can just kind of steer their butt around, and that's how they move.
I would love them the same as I would love a dog with 4 legs.
He would.
Well, sure, yeah.
He would part out your wheelbarrow.
Right. Exactly. So I'll let you guys get this broadcast back on track. And Matt, could you turn down 5-6 for me?
I sure can. That was Mike Flanagan, ladies and gentlemen. You're watching live coverage from the Fusion Realtors Open. This is the A squad of the qualifying block here at Maple Lanes in Waterloo, Iowa. With me in the booth right now is Lee Boudouris, special guest Steve Richtor and Rob Gotchall. They should be here for a little bit longer. This is already game 4, right?
Right.
So what, 3 more games, 2 more games after this one?
And I believe the standings have been updated after 3 games.
They have been. Game 3 standings have been updated. If you go to the bottom of your screen on InsideBowling.tv, you'll be able to click the refresh button there, and you'll be able to update all the scores. It looks like Jeff Riggles has dropped a little bit. Jason Guest is up there.
Dwayne Kilt's leading.
Watching action right now down on 5 and 6. We find Quentin Bolin, Shannon Buchan, who's up on 6.
Yeah, guys, looking over these standings here, Dwayne Kilt sits at plus 114. So through 3 games, that's almost a 240 average. Wriggles is at 109, tied with Guest. No surprise to see those two names up there. But the real number we need to look at here, Rob Gotchall, is what, about the 21st position?
Yeah, I would say 20th, 21st, which was about 25 over.
Yeah, so keep in mind, that's for 3 games already. That's just a 208 average to make the top 64 tomorrow.
I was thinking between 50 and 70 after seeing the scoring pace start off.
That's outstanding.
What do you think, Steve?
I
50?
think that, no, I think it's going to be a little higher than that because the one thing that's in this pattern is with the length of the that they're choosing here at 45 feet, there's always hold. Versus the other Fusion Open where you had to throw it to the hook and you had to do it the right way just to hit the pocket. This is fairly easy to hit the pocket. It's finding a way to make your ball go through the pins the right way. So you can just see how that track area is really developing now, and people are bringing out shiny balls, and those aren't skidding a mile. They're actually picking up pretty nice and throughout the body of the lane. So I think 70 is probably closer to being right.
Yeah. 78. Market.
78.
78. Market.
Are you taking over or under on that, Rob?
I'll take the under on 78.
Over under on 78.
On cut for
64th plus 78.
Oh, I'm taking under.
I'm going to take under as well.
I'm going to take under like thunder.
I'm going to take under. I'm going to take right around
I think
plus
that could
10
be
or plus 15 even.
Oh, no,
I'll
I
take
think it's
the
going to be
over on
higher
that.
Higher than that.
With Matt, seriously, go back to the math school on that one, buddy.
Well, I haven't been paying attention. I'm feverishly trying to get our lane assignments together.
Matt is pretending that he's on The Price is Right.
I don't want to go over.
Where $1.
He's slow playing it.
Yeah, $1.
So what was your guess then?
I think it's going to be 70.
Okay, well, I'll take plus 71.
So there you go. Do-do-do-do.
He's sitting in his wheelbarrow, folks, with his feet kicked up on the dash.
And my two-legged dogs with a wheelchair pushing me around behind me.
Hey, Matt, can I get a split screen? I want to look at some ball reaction on a
Sure
couple of
thing,
pairs
Mike.
here.
Here it comes. There it is.
We got a little Wagon and Shannon Buchan action, don't we?
Yeah, the second bowler on lane 5 has 270 going into the 10th. He'll be bowling right after Buchan.
Should be able to figure who that is on the individual printout sheet.
Where
Not exactly, because the sheet's a little off.
Jason Peterson, I believe, is his name.
Rick Volhard here. You know, I don't know Rick personally, but I know he's a really great bowler. And we've got someone here in the chat, Cannon 10, thinks Volhard's going to go plus 248.
I will take the under on Volhard going plus 248.
Me too.
Unless that's his.
I paid attention this time.
Unless that's his beer intake.
That's the amount of ounces he's going to have.
Yeah. If that's the ounces of beer he's going to drink today, I would probably take the over. And I believe the same person asked earlier if I was going to be babysitting him, and I that is no. I only babysit him when he comes back to Nebraska to visit for football.
This just in. He is on a no drinking weekend, according to the chat.
It's not true. I bought him a beer yesterday. It might be a sponsor, actually. That's chatting away.
Would make sense.
I'm sure you're doing him a lot of good then right now. Steve Richtor.
Hi.
Who is the most impressive bowler on the PBA Tour right now, in your opinion? No hedging.
Right now?
Yep.
Okay, I'm going to overanalyze this a little bit.
All right, cool. That's what I wanted to hear.
Based on what they do or the results they get or their skill level, or give me some...
Whatever you base it on. When you turn on the TV on Sundays and when you watch PBA.com like I know you do, who's the one guy on top in your mind right now? Your guy. And for whatever reason that is.
You know, I think it's hard to argue against one of the two-handers just because they're able to do things other people can't. And so even if they don't match up perfect, they find ways to still run them over. I mean, just as a great example of something that's a little related but not so much is my 4-year-old rolls with two hands. He picks the ball up off the rack, cradles him in his forearm, runs as fast as he can, and hits the brakes, and makes a ramp and rolls it down the ramp. But he wants to be like his big brother. And I'm trying to tell him, don't be like your big brother. Be a two-hander, because there's way too many advantages as far as I see it. So I think, I mean, I'm sort of in awe of that too, because I've tried it and I can't do it.
So are you saying Brian Valenta is the #1?
I said one of the two-handers. I know he's a two-hander, but not one of the top two.
He's referencing Jason and Oscar.
Yeah, I know.
You did not get that?
No, I did. I was just being dumb.
Funny, trying to be funny.
There was a lefty two-hander I caught on one of the videos too this week.
Yeah, and then he's a very good amateur player too. He's been brought up in our chats before, and I can't think of his name right now. But he is.
Have you guys seen the young kid?
Cassidy.
Well, Cassidy Schaub was one, but he wasn't bowling this week.
He wasn't bowling this week?
There was a guy from Louisville that was the first one I saw.
Tony Lambert. Yep.
Yeah, there's another guy though that made it this week at the Masters.
Have you guys seen the young kid Wesley Lowe?
I have not.
Yeah.
He's 14 or 15, throws it with two hands. He is really good.
Yeah.
Hey Matt, we get a scoreboard on 5 and 6? Looks like 257.
That's the second game in a row, Mike, where that pair has scored very high.
Yeah.
257, 36, 39, and a 190 in there.
That's Shannon Buchan with low game 193 on that pair.
I'll tell you what, these advertisers that pay to be on these screens here in this bowling center, they're getting their money's worth this year with being able to show all the advertisements on our live broadcast. You see them as they come up across the screen. Check out MapleLanesWaterloo.com. That'll show you everything that's going on in this bowling center.
All right, guys, I got lane assignments here for the whole squad now. That's what I was feverishly working on. So, this is game 5. Well, it's already almost over.
That's why I'm laughing.
Game 5's just starting.
Yeah, they're just finishing game 4.
Just finishing game 4. So let's go on over to okay, we're done.
What's he got going on?
I don't know.
What?
I didn't do it.
Matt, what's the problem?
It seems like we lost some audio here.
Where? What are you talking about?
Well, this got yanked out.
All right, so we have one headset down, but everybody at home is in perfect shape.
Yeah, everybody at home is pretty good. It's just really hard to hear us talk here, and I don't know why.
I'll tell you what, I like to do audio stuff, so you want me to just come over and take care of that situation? I think Richter's just getting all excited about these two-handers over there.
He needs to calm down.
I'm going to guess his batteries went dead in his headset. That's going to be my guess.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
I think it just, when he pulled on it, the volume controls got turned on. I think we're pretty good now.
All right.
You got good sound, right, Lee?
Yeah, I'm looking at the levels. Everything's
good. Levels are great, so everybody at home is good.
We're training on the job here, folks. Mike Flanagan here with you. As you've seen these past broadcasts
he's back.
that we've done, I make it look easy, let me tell you. Rob Gotchall was giving us some great compliments this morning. He was talking to us about all of our integration with all the things that we have moving parts here, with your ability to see the standings down below and that. And Rob, we appreciate that. What is it that you think is cool about our broadcast?
Well, I mean, you get a little everything. You get some bowling insight. You get some, friendly banter. You get to know a little about some of these, people that we don't even know through their friends on the chat. But I mean, just your overall setup of getting the standings right away, and it's just. You got a camera on the score. I like the extra frame. I like the extra frame broadcast, and you're even a part of it. But, you know, we had it up on the TV monitor here today, and, you know, we're watching a match, but there's no score on the screen. We don't even know who's scoring it. And when they're bowling 3 games total pins, it's a little harder to keep up with the score of the match, especially when they're bouncing back and forth. And you know, they didn't really give us many scoring monitor shots as often as I think they should.
Yeah. We're still learning this thing. We're still trying to dial this thing in. We don't even know what live streaming is. We just play with things and try to make it better, and then listen to the chat. I'll tell you, I love our chat. The chat's great because.
Except when Adam Barta's in, sometimes he gets a little crazy.
That's true. Adam is.
Sometimes.
You know, he wanted to fire Lee at the holiday doubles.
He offered Mr. Flanagan $5,000 to fire me.
He did.
Yeah.
$5,000.
Flanagan didn't take it.
Well, see what
he does this for free a lot. I mean,
no,
$5,000's a.
I did take the money, Rob, and then I hired Lee back, and we split it.
Very smart.
Yeah, that's what we did. It was Lee's idea, actually.
Well, that's worthy of his job back.
You're right. Yeah, you're totally right about that.
And you high-sided Adam Barta. I mean, that's not easy to do.
Right. And he makes $5,000 a weekend bowling sometimes. It's just a drop in the bucket. But
Adam and Pete Barta are great people. Very fun people. They've got an unbelievable USBC team coming up, which, one of those members joins us right now here in the booth. Just coming into the booth right now. He's been here all morning, but let's talk about this USBC Open Championships. I bet you were just foaming at the mouth listening to Richter and his story about winning an Eagle. Let's talk about this team you got coming up here.
Yeah, I mean, we've put together a team of people that we've all met and become really close over the years at the Mega Bucks and, you know, a few of the majors and stuff like that. And in a way, we've molded our team around the Richter, Regals, and Gale Myers and Shady and McDowell type of mentality. You know, we've taken a good group of 5 with some talent and, you know, upside, and we've paired ourselves with a companion team that buys into the system of what we're going to try to do and try to achieve the overall goal of winning a trophy. I mean, we've all gone there and ran the brackets over and made our money, and but that tournament there comes a point to where you want to bowl for pride. And I mean, I've got to know Steve and Jeff and Gail a little bit better here over the last 2 or 3 years, and you know what they do is special. I mean, to compete at that tournament at a high level every year is really something.
Certainly is. You're watching game number 5, Fusion Realtors Open, A squad qualifying. Mike Flanagan, Rob Gotchall, Lee Boudouris up here in the booth right now. Richter and Turek are on assignment at the moment. You're watching lanes 13 and 14. We've got Rob Amers, Kenny Calkins III, Dave Carter, and Dwayne Kiltz on this particular pair.
Which Kiltz was your leader after 3, and I believe he bowled 2-0 the last game.
And when do you guys bowl, Rob?
We bowl, I believe, April 21st and 22nd.
All right.
22nd, 23rd. They're actually going to live stream our doubles and singles on Bowl TV.
Yeah, we're talking USBC Open Championships now with Rob Gotchall, who has now become part of this unbelievable team that's been assembled for this year's Open Championships in Reno. It's a star-studded lineup, and let's see if I can get it right and talk about this great team that you have. And I'm going to let Richter slide in here because this is something he needs to hear about and needs to know. Steve Richtor, I don't know if you know this or not, but you guys have no chance at winning an Eagle this year in the team event because there's been another team assembled, which we're talking about or about to talk about here on this broadcast as we continue to watch this game number 5 here at the Fusion Realtors. Danger pin blasting area. I love that graphic on that monitor. But speaking of pin blasting, there's going to be a lot of it going on at the Open Championships this year. As we know, the 11thframe.com team, formerly the Turbo 201 team, is going to be taking to the lanes to win more eagles and put more on the mantle. But we've got this new team Rob Gotchall's a part of with Mike Rose Jr., Adam Barta, Brian Wallachek, and Scott Pohl. Is that correct?
Shake it off.
Yeah.
That's an unbelievable team. Steve Richtor, what's your initial impression of that team, and what do you think it's going to take for these guys to be able to possibly take home an eagle? Because we've seen before, Steve Richtor, these dynamite teams put together, and they just don't gel too well. We saw it last year with a few teams that ever put together. What's it going to take for these guys to be able to get it done?
Well, I think that's it. I mean, you have extremely talented people on that team. Can they work together, and how is communication? I think that's true with any team. I think it's interesting watching the PBA team stuff right now and how little sometimes you see those guys talking shot after shot. They're supremely talented, and all can probably figure it out on their own. But I think that's the one thing that makes our teams a little bit special is the amount of communication. Sometimes it might be too much, and but at the same time, we're not nearly as good as what Rob's team is like, and so sometimes you can just figure it out on your own.
We're going to bring in 2 screens at once. We're going to take a look at lanes 5 and 6 right now. Nick Brown, Jeff McCann, Jason Rook, Ryan Renfro we're going to bring into your screen as we look at 2 at once. We'll continue to keep an eye on lanes 13 and 14. Steve, so you think that it's going to take the gelling, and they're going to have to be able to help each other out on the lanes? How important do you think playing the same area of the lane is?
I think it's different, and it depends on the pattern. I think last year was probably the first year in a while where you could probably choose different angles through the front of the lane. The winning team kind of proved that. Nick Heilman told me that their game plan was to not take anybody out of their strength. So the people that threw it straight could throw it straight, the people that curved it could curve it. And they set the lane up in such a way where that worked out. So I think that's a good example of how the pattern, because there was a little more friction, and it allowed that to happen where, there's other times where, especially with these drop rush patterns, there's so much oil piled in the front of the lane that if you don't get it broke down the right way, and then move in when you think you need to move in, your ball will shoot to the right because it's never slowing down. So I'm going to answer that in a way that's kind of vague, but I think the pattern really dictates that.
Rob, what kind of pre-work have you guys talked about already going into that event? What is the planning and strategic direction of your team?
Well, I mean, like I've said, when Steve was gone, we've kind of tried to take a little of what they've done and implement it into us. I mean, we probably chat together at least once a week, whether it's with I mean, sometimes we get a little off topic with Adam and stuff. And
no way.
It goes into him asking me if I'm in a room with his wife, or all kinds of crazy stuff. But I mean, we're gonna have a practice session, but together beforehand once the patterns are announced.
How do you guys do that when you live geographically so?
Ideally, we're gonna all go to a tournament. We're gonna go to a tournament. We're gonna communicate with the bowling center around the tournament to where we can all go there and try to, get the pattern laid out. At least just get to see it together, whether it's, really close or not. We're all flying in 4 days before we bowl. We will put, I believe, we're gonna do 2 practice sessions down on the showcase lanes. We're gonna do 2 practice sessions, one like 2 days before we bowl, and we are also going to do another practice session the morning that we bowl. And we will probably also put another practice session in over at the Grand Sierra at some point, because we can get a couple lanes over there with the pattern. And I believe the 1, 2, 3 tournament at the BTM is again going to use the championship pattern for their tournament. So, I mean, like you said, communication. We'll we'll all see the pattern individually before we get together. And then when we all get together, even before we throw a shot, we'll sit down and discuss what we see, what we think is the right game plan, and take a couple, 2, 3 pair of lanes, and kind of go at it. Everybody's how they think the lane should be played, and we'll choose our best option. And obviously, once you get to Reno and you get to see how the pattern's playing at the stadium and stuff, it should be good. And we won't get a practice with our companion team until we get to Reno.
Who is your companion team?
They are 5 guys from Rochester, New York. That's friends with Mike Rose. I can't name them all off. I met them all earlier this year, and they're 5 guys that have bowled together for a long time, and they've bought into the system of working together as a group. And that's what we were looking for. We don't need a. Last year I watched while I was out there a couple 10 star-studded guys bowling together, but they get into the bracket mentality, and they're trying to bowl 250 the first game, and then middle of game 2, there's nothing left in the front of the middle, and 2-0 should be, in my opinion, 2-0 is a bad to mediocre game in game 2 and 3. It's a great game in game 1, and then after that it's you got to be looking at 220. If you've played the lanes properly, you should be looking at 220 the last 2 games.
Hearing Rob's explanation of that brings another point up
about
that's much better, Bob.
Thank you. About working with another team. When another team buys into the system and doesn't bail on you, that's key, because I fully believe that it takes 10 to make the lanes be what you want them to be. And in this case, this year, it's going to be 6 for singles and doubles. But having that plan and wearing them in just long enough so that it creates something for you, that helps everybody, not just the better of the 2 teams. And the key is finding 5 people that can check their egos at the door, willing to be a companion team, knowing that if we help out, we're going to make it good for us too. So knowing that, and the fact that you guys already have a plan, and here's what we're going to do. We're flying out early. Here's what we're going to bowl at when we're out there. I mean, they have a infinitely higher chance of success by already knowing basically what they're going to do. Where I think a lot of times teams, people practice individually, and then they get out there and they try to put it all together, and it's very easy for to have plans ditched very quickly because out there it doesn't match up with what you may have saw at home or at a tournament. Last year's a great example. I mean, Jeff was probably one of the fastest ones outside of my home center to bowl on it where it was actually at a tournament, and his impression of what it was at the event and what it turned out to be were very different.
You're listening to the USBC chat hotline here. $7.99 gets you your subscription here on InsideBowling.com TV, an inside look at the Open Championships. I'm smooth operator Slammy Global here on the call, and we've got our expert USBC analyst here in the booth. But on a serious note, it's Matt Catnazero's birthday. Happy 34th birthday as we talk Open Championships here at the Fusion Realtors. And we've got an update after game number 4, gentlemen. If I were to say 225, 231, 246, 248, who does that make you think of? It makes me think of David Carter, and he is our leader. He's averaging 237.5. He shot 950 for the first 4. Dwayne Kilt sits second at 919. Third, Jason Guest at 916. Just a pin behind him, Matt Wagan, another guy with USBC Open Championship success recently at 915. So that's your top 4. Riggles is 5th. Calkins is 6th. Buchan 7th, so right on down the list. You can take a look at it on your live scoring down below. You can also look at the Game 4 standings, and we're going to go ahead and take a look at the 21st position, which is Jason Rook at 31 over through 4 games. So
right about 208.
Yep, 208 or so.
Question, let's bring it back for both of you guys. Thoughts on the not using the same pattern for each day? I think what kind of difference do you think that'll make?
Well, I think it's a good question because it's gonna my opinion is going to vary a little differently on how different the patterns are. I mean, I'm of the belief with travel restrictions and the amount of bowling balls you can bring and how much the bowling balls influence the game, I don't feel that the patterns, just in my opinion, for the first year are going to vary too much. You know, maybe slightly in distance and then, you know, a little. I think the overall shape of the pattern is going to be very similar, but the distance and the volumes are going to just be a little different. Not too bad. I mean, if they want to make it really hard, they can make them really different. But I think then you're really gonna see the better bowlers climb to the top because they can do more with their 6, 8, 9 ball, whatever, you know, however many bowling balls they're taking out there. And also, you know, you kind of want to get away from, I believe the tournament wants to get away from the staff guys being able to drill balls out there to match up. They kind of want you to show up with what you got.
We're going to take you over here to 5 and 6, where Ryan Renfrew has got the first 7 strikes. He's up in the 8th frame there on lane number 5.
Is that Renfro maybe?
Is it Renfro?
I don't know. I haven't even looked at the sheet. I'm just I just wanted to pick on you.
It's Renfrew maybe. F-R-E-W.
Renfrew. Okay.
That's what I got out of it.
First 6, huh?
First 7.
7. Wow.
He's
You know what that
frame.
is? Hey,
that's a ham turkey dinner.
Yeah, you guys know about that new coin phrase?
I heard you say it for the first time last week.
Yeah, it's the ham turkey dinner.
Who's hungry? Here he is up on lane number 5.
He's got a high road in his hand.
Yep.
Oh, gets it. +1. Ham turkey dinner +1.
Yeah, happy birthday, Matt Cannizzaro. Happy birthday, Storm High Road, just a few months ago. You know what's funny is I was talking to the folks over at Storm, and that whole birthday thing was almost like a relaunch of the ball. They sold more product. That ball started going up again in sales.
I'm still waiting for them to take up my suggestion and make a solid pink high road, put the breast cancer logo on the side, make 5,000 of them and that's it, and charge a premium and then have a donation go towards the
I suggested the same thing. That is so crazy. I suggested the same thing. I also suggested the My Road, that they should make the My Road line, which is the same exact ball, but you could pick your color, and there'd be like 500 made of each color.
Nice.
And then you would pick My Road, whatever you want. People would have yellow ones, they'd have green ones, purple. It'd be like Lucky Charms.
Lucky Charms.
It would be the My Road. I mean, it just makes too much sense. I also discussed, but this is an absolute logistical nightmare when you go to try to get bowling balls approved to the USBC and everything. No offense to the USBC, but I mean, you got to pay for all this stuff. But, you know, I think it would be cool if you could actually select the color of the ball, the core, and then the cover stock, and you would have like 3 in each to choose. So you would have 3 different colors, 3 different cores, and 3 different cover stocks. 2 symmetrical, 1 asymmetrical. The colors I would choose would be probably black, red, and some really off-the-wall color like pink. Or it could be maybe a hybrid color. And then your cover stocks you would choose. I'm not as good in the cover stock area, so you'd have to figure that out, but I would maybe go with like a high road cover and maybe like a virtual gravity cover, and I don't know what else. Somebody else could figure that out that knows more about it than me, but then you could just pick. You know, there'd be different combinations, so you would say, all right, the first thing is you pick what kind of core you want. I want high road core. Okay, what color do you want? I'll take the black one. Okay, cool. And then I want virtual gravity cover stock. All right, coming to you.
Little just-in-time manufacturing for whatever the customer needs, right?
Yeah, well, but what it would be is these would all be pre-made. Like these, you know, they would have so many runs of each one of these, and then the distributors would carry whichever ones they wanted to choose. You know, and then it would be like hunting around. Like, you know, it'd be like a scavenger hunt. Like, oh, I want that one. Well, let me call Lomar. Well, let me call Ace Mitchell. Well, let me call Grand Prix. And then they would call around. Let me call.
Upset the entire distribution network and have them just go direct to the consumer.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that.
We're going to take you back here to 5 and 6, where Ryan's up here again in the 9th frame. He's got the first 8.
Thank you, man.
I'm just trying to keep on track.
That's what you got to do.
I'm just keeping the flow moving. You guys can continue to debate. He's going to be up on lane 6. He's getting some air from the blower. Taking his time.
I believe he's 14 over.
Not anymore.
Yeah, not after this game.
I bowled with him a few times yesterday in the practice session, and he was a little upset with his ball reaction. I mean, he didn't have a whole lot, and obviously today he's found something with a little friction.
Oh, coming in high.
Well, Mike, my cloud is still around from Redbird. Last time we did one of these in December.
And there were still like 2,300s.
There's still like 27, but we saw like 60 or 70.
Yeah.
So my black cloud success rate was well over 60%.
Yeah,
so
we actually call it the Stream Crusher now, Lee. You can still call it the Black Cloud.
I'm still calling it the Black Cloud.
But, yeah, I call it the Stream Crusher. And, hey, I want to give a shout-out to Antonio Medina, who is cutting plug down in his pro shop, Mike Wolf's Bowling Supply pro shop down in Louisville. He's been watching a little bit, and he can learn something while cutting down all that plug. And you're welcome, Antonio Medina. We call him the Funky Cold Medina, and we love him.
Is he learning that Mike Wolf's a slave driver?
Oh, he picked that spare. Nice spare there by Ryan. 6, 7, 10. Picked it up to keep that game clean. Let's head back over to the split screen. As action is finishing up there on lane 13 and 14.
Steve Richtor.
Hi.
I want to talk to you about my stalker, who we are mutual friends with. And I mean this in a good way. This is the most nicest guy ever that I actually have ever encountered on Facebook. And he's listening to us today and can't believe you and I are in the booth at the same time. It's like he says it's like a
Will
Google.
he become my stalker then also?
Oh, I'm sure he is.
Shared stalker?
Yeah, there's no doubt in my mind. And basically his comment today on my Facebook page says Steve Richtor and Mike Flanagan in the same booth is like the Google of bowling, full of answers for any question. Which is probably a complete insult to you, Steve Richtor, and I apologize
We're full
for
of
that.
something, that's for sure.
But it's Scott Hewenick.
Oh.
Yeah, he absolutely loves it, and we love him. And I call him my stalker, in a good way. I also want to give a shout out to someone very special to me that has been dealing with me on the road a lot this year in 2013.
Does she have the same last name as me?
She does. She does. Yeah, and I just want to, she's listening right now to us. She says that she's listening to some guys talk about bowling right now while she's cleaning the house. And I just want to give a shout out to Kim Richter, my girl, the one and only. And Mimi and Belle are at home with her.
Is she cleaning your house?
Our house.
Our house.
Our house. It's a very, very, very fine house with 2 cats in the yard, I believe is how the song goes. But actually we have 3 dogs. But one dog right now, who I need to give a shout out to her, because I know she's listening at the University of Columbia, Mizzou to be exact, is Muffin. She's got cancer in one of her legs. She has a very large mass that the University of Missouri Columbia is treating, and she's actually going through a case study right now where they've actually injected the mass, and it's attacking the cancer and shrinking the mass. That is a case study that will be used for dogs and humans to be able to actually help beat this disease of cancer. And she's there. She's been there for about 7 or 8 days. I got to pick her up Tuesday. She's been going through some radiation and that, and they're hoping the mass shrinks down small enough that they can remove it or it just disappears, as it has not spread throughout her body. She's a 12-year-old beagle, and I love my Muffin girl. There's no doubt about it, and she's being taken care of great right now at the University of Missouri Columbia. As a matter of fact, the doctors, they actually let her walk around and go on like the calls with them and everything, and they all know her. So every time I go there back and forth, it's about an 1.5-hour drive, but well worth it. They all, when I get there, they all like, oh, Muffin's back, and they all give her a hug and all that stuff. And one of the doctors actually texted me this morning and said, how do we get onto your broadcast? Muffin was wondering what it's going to take to be able to listen to you broadcast this weekend, and I had to give them all the instructions. So I want to give a shout out to Muffin, who's watching at the Animal Hospital at Mizzou.
And as you can see there on 5 and lane 5, Ryan there went strike the first ball of the 10th, and then a 10-pin here, second ball of the 10th. Give him a max score of 267 if he spares it. Nice pickup of the washout there by Jason Rook. Correction, Jeff McCann.
Trophy King says Antonio Medina is the Mexicutioner.
And a nice spare there by Ryan, so that's a nice 267 game there for him.
Bump him up to about 81 over.
Well, in the number at this point.
Yeah, the number kind of idolized between games 3 and 4 there.
Yeah, but I think it's going up now.
Yeah.
I mean, just looking at the scores in the first dozen lanes that are real close to us here, it's pretty evident. People are striking.
I think everybody finally saw the green light that they could ball down and move a little left, and there's a defined hook spot they can throw it at, and obviously there's going to be hold too.
Yeah, I was going to ask you guys if you guys have noticed any type of breakdown on this pattern yet.
Well, I mean, in the practice session yesterday, I mean, obviously watching Ryan bowl, and he was using a high road there. I never really saw them get burnt enough to the right to where I could kind of go to a high road. It would squirt a little too much still. I could throw an IQ Tour Pearl, and it picked up soon enough, and I could go around the lane a little bit, but I never really saw where the high road was the ball to go to yet. And today, obviously, they're a little more burned up at the spot.
I was real surprised at the end. I had found it, as I mentioned before, a trick that that worked, and I wanted to get to the right and throw something that would go clean down the lane to see if I had to go straight, could I do this trick at the same time? And I grabbed a marble pearl and was very surprised at how early it hooked. And so, you know, with 15 minutes left to go in the practice session, I jumped to where I was with all the other balls and was stunned at how well that went through the pins, and it's box shiny. Yeah. So it just goes to show that what could happen today is you jump to a pair where you were just great with a ball that you had in your hand with maybe a little bit of texture, and you start leaving flat tens, that it's not that the lane is tighter, but that it's actually hooking and it's bleeding your ball off. And so the choice is move in with what you have a little bit more, or switch balls to something shiny and have its energy lose it slower out of the ball, so that you have a little more on the back end of the lane.
All right, we're going to go over there to lanes 13 and 14. Game 6 is getting ready to get started. On that pair is Justin Weber in the A spot, Ryan Wilson in the B spot, Ben Trug in the C spot, and Troy Fueller in the D spot. They're on lane 13 and 14. Looks like they have actually already started there. As have 5 and 6, let's take you down there and introduce the players. Down here on 5 and 6 on the A spot is John Shaw, Rob Allwright, Don Breeden, and Andy Bulow.
Don Breeden.
He's a legend around here.
Yeah. Fill me in, because I mean I know the name, but for some reason his stats and his aura.
He used to be on tour, wasn't he?
Yeah, he bowled on tour for some years. I mean, that was before my time. I've got to know him through tournaments around the Midwest, Nebraska, Iowa area the last probably 4 or 5 years. And when they are nasty hard, and I mean nasty hard, these 6-8 lane bowling centers that, you know, there's tournaments pay $1,500 to win, above ground ball returns. He is in the hunt all the time. He is very accurate, doesn't miss many spares, and he's just got a little trick. He is the ultimate grinder.
Yep.
He's not a player anymore. He just strikes a lot. Isn't that how the song goes? Don't want to be a player no more.
I just
want to
strike a lot.
Yeah, you know, the ultimate grinder. He's kind of like, isn't there a grinder in poker? Who's that, Michael Mizrachi? Yeah. He's the Michael Mizrachi of bowling, Don Breeden.
You're watching live coverage here of the Fusion Realtors Open. This is the A-Squad qualifying round here at Maple Lanes in Waterloo, Iowa. You're joined here by myself, Matt Turek, Mike Flanagan, Lee Boudouris, and special guests Steve Richtor and Rob Gotchall.
Matt, can you do that again, but give us time for us to actually raise our hand and say that we're here or present, please?
Right now?
Yeah, just do it again. Just say
from the beginning.
Roll call.
Just when it's time for the roll call. Just start with I am, and state your name, and then go through us.
Okay. Well, I am Matt Turek, and I guess I'll switch to the booth cam for this so they can see who we are.
Sure.
I'm Matt Turek here with my hand raised. To my right is Steve Richtor. He's going to wave. To the right of him is Lee Boudouris.
Steve, you got to check in. You got to.
Oh, present.
Lee Boudouris, you're next in line there. Can you wave at the camera and check in for us here so the folks at home can know?
Hi.
And then Rob Gotchall's off to my left. There he is. Right, and Mike Flanagan is hiding in the corner. Sobbing.
Present.
There he is.
He's at the kids' table, man.
I am. I'm having a kitty cocktail over here.
Back to the split screen to watch both action at one time.
Matt.
You're welcome, Mike. Anything to make your broadcast any better.
He's over here planning Flannyland still.
And there's a question in the chat, old school. Where are you guys posting scores? If you have to be on the InsideBowling.tv page, and then you can scroll all the way to the bottom, and there will be updated scores under tabs there. I believe they are through Game 4. They will probably update Game 5 here shortly. They've been really good at that. Really fast. Usually by the third or fourth frame, they've updated the previous game. As I refresh the standings, it's still Game 4. If your web browser is pointing to www.livestream.com, you are on the wrong page. Please go to InsideBowling.tv. That's where you'll be able to watch the stream, chat with us here in the booth, and check the standings down at the bottom of the screen.
You know what I love is I'm in love with Jennifer Engelkiss. She is amazing.
Did you say that Kim was on this?
She is, but she knows what I'm talking about right here. The reason why I love her is because we just spent last weekend at the Reed Hawthorne, and it was like pulling teeth to get scores.
Oh, yeah.
But keep in mind, they had 200 people bowling at once, so this is no rip on them. But the fact that now we've been here twice, and she is updating these scores. Kim is fantastic at updating scores at our events. She sets the bar. She's the creme de la creme, or the Kim de la Kim. But
that's
here,
clever.
when we come here, guys, the Engelkiss crew, the whole family, are just unbelievable people, and she gets these scores updated. That's why I am in love with her. I mean, it's a different kind of love, though, Steve Richtor.
Love and respect and appreciation.
Yeah.
So the things that you don't have with, I mean, help me understand. I'm just getting clarification.
It's a similar type of love. You know, I can count on Jennifer like I count on Kimberly when it comes to tournament organizing. And when it comes to being at home and enjoying my time away from this wonderful, high-paying job that this is, that's a different kind of love that I take home, Steve. And if you want to discuss that at Beck's later, I'll be more than happy to fill you in on the kind of love that is.
You know where I'll be sitting?
And how it gets shared. in the lower bowl. You'll be in the lower bowl.
Jenny just texted me the word vomit.
Oh, yeah?
She doesn't buy it, I don't think.
Oh, really?
No, I don't think so.
Well, I know you have called me on several occasions to discuss just how happy you are in your relationship as well, Steve Richtor. I've been in the middle of
you're going to ruin my reputation as a awful guy if you keep saying stuff like that.
I've been in the middle of presentations that I've been given to 20+ thousand people, and my cell phone rings and it's Steve Richtor, and I leave the auditorium just to listen to how wonderful relationship you have with Ginny. And if she is at home, I hope there's a bottle of Pledge nearby and a duster, and I hope the Eagles are getting dusted quite nicely today.
I don't know that people, other than you and me, I don't know if the entire audience even knows the
well,
story
I think
behind
you should
that.
tell the story, because I've been doing a lot of talking.
Truthfully, I wasn't even there.
Oh, you were in the
I
building.
was bowling.
Yeah, you were a couple hundred feet away. The thing was, is at the last couple of years, I've had the joy and the treat of being at the USBC Open Championships. That is the theme of the day, by the way, everyone. USBC Open Championships. But I was there in the crowd, and of course, when these beautiful balding men are bowling together, I am up in the crowd speaking to the wives, which are great people, by the way, all of them. And I've gotten to know them quite well, and basically I just simply looked at them and just said, how are the Eagle Dusters today? And they loved it. They loved it because they all have Eagles at home. They all have the same problem. They sit there and they collect dust on a shelf. And they are like, these Eagles are great, but boy, they're a pain to dust. I just know this is happening throughout the country to wives that have these Eagles. And then when they go to dust them, they got to realize that these things are such prized possessions that they can't be like on a phone call while they're dusting them, because if it were to fall off and break, it would be the end of the world. So you got to be very cautious. It's like playing with radioactive material.
I just want to take this time right now to give a shout out to John Brocklin. He made quite a run there at the Masters this weekend. He made it through the first 2 rounds of qualifying, lost to what was it, Wes Malott. Got knocked out to the losers bracket.
Yeah, John Brocklin had a week to remember at the Masters. He won the Missouri State All Events title, which got him a paid spot into the Masters. Now, keep in mind, John Brocklin is a guy that has chosen as a profession to devote his life to God. He is a pastor at St. Joachim Care Service. Well, he takes care of the care services, but at St. Joachim Parish in St. Charles. And I love to call him one of my closest friends in the whole world. And many people don't know that is what he does. But because he's done this, he's a little busy on Sunday, guys. So he doesn't get to bowl as many tournaments as he would like. But John was able to go out to the Masters, and he did us proud.
Yeah, and he really did it proud.
He qualified, I think, 49th, yeah. And he drew John Zerbinski in the first round, in which it was Battle of Rotogrip All-Stars, as John is on Rotogrip advisory staff. And John bowled against Zerbinski, and he was able to take him down. Boom! Take that, John Zerbinski. And then, here's Nathan Bohr, and he takes down Nathan Bohr.
No problem.
I think he just had something against Wichita, guys.
Yeah, he did. You're right. That's a good call. And then, he bowls Wes Malott, the big nasty, and he was down.
He was up after the first game, wasn't he?
Yeah. I don't know. I don't remember all that, but
he was up a little bit.
But he ended up being down like 40 going into the last game, and then his hand puffed up a little bit. Not to make excuses, but the humidity was a little different in the building. And Big Wes, it looked like he beat him by more than he did, but towards the end of the game, it was pretty much over. So it looked a little more of a landslide than what it was. And then he has to bowl Tommy Jones, and John gave Tommy all he could handle. John popped a big last game to make it close. Tommy had to mark in the 10th, and he did. And I think he lost by about 20, 25 or so, and double elimination, and he's out. But John is a guy that a lot of people in St. Louis, including Who Do You Think You Are, I Am Pete Weber, says that John may have won a few titles out on tour if he would have chosen the career path of the professional tour. But God bless you, John, for choosing your profession, being a great friend to me, and a great friend to many of us, and making us proud at the USBC Masters. My buddy, John A. We love you, John.
So we got a few guys on pairs right in front of us, but not on the screen, that have a few strings to start. Start the game out. 2 front 5s and a front 4.
Yeah, Nick Brown there on 9 and 10, which we can't see on the screen. He's got the first 5. And then Jason Rook also has the first 5 on the same pair, 9 and 10. Looks like Mike's going to try and get us a camera angle of this.
You know who this guy is? Anybody on 11? He throws it really damn good.
On 11?
Yeah, you know,
I've bowled with him before. I don't know who he is.
What letter?
B.
B is Jason Peterson.
I think he has the right ball roll for today, where it reads quick, and it doesn't go too far down the lane, still returns through the pocket the right way.
Well, here's our new camera angle here of 9 and 10. You'll be able to watch some of these strings get going here.
A little frame loss on this one, but it's the best we got right now for you, but give you an opportunity to take a look.
You see Jeff McCann go up there and pick his 7-count spare.
Speaking of the Utah guys, they just showed up. It's Chuck right there.
I'm going to say hello to this young man. It's been a while, brother. It's good to see you. Good. You mind popping on a headset real quick? Here, right here, this one. I'm going to let you take mine. Will you guys ask him what made him come all the way from Utah to this tournament? I got to know, and the fans at home got to know.
Didn't he just ask him?
Yeah, I think he did.
No, I didn't know. I didn't ask him why. You guys can get into this.
All right, so we're supposed to ask you why you made your long trek this weekend from Utah to Iowa.
Well, Clay and I we're driving to Vegas. We made a wrong turn and we found ourselves in Iowa here. We happen to have a few bowling balls. We figured we'll do some bowling. No, but seriously, one of our friends goes to college in Iowa. He said this is a great tournament. We've been fortunate enough to be able to get some buddy passes, so we flew out and see how it goes. In Utah, there's not a whole lot to bowl. We usually always find ourselves traveling somewhere. So, what's 13 hours of being in airports compared to 9 hours in the car? You know.
Fair point.
Did you guys get to the practice session yesterday?
No, we were planning on it, but being that we flew buddy passes, we got bumped from a flight and we're sitting around the airport for quite a while. So
what's your early impression on what you're seeing here?
Looks really playable. We watched the show a little bit this morning. Obviously, guys starting out a little further right, but depending on what equipment they use will depend on how we migrate. So. But this looks like a great tournament. We wish we could have some tournaments like this in Utah or even the surrounding area that get this many bowlers. This is incredible.
And if you guys go to the bottom of your screen here on Inside Bowling, you'll see that the standings have been updated through game number 5. So go ahead. If they haven't on your screen, there's a little blue tab there next to or a little blue button there. And if you click that, it should refresh your standing sheet if it hasn't done it automatically.
Yeah, plus 42 to 44 range. It's still clicking along at 208.
Hey guys, awesome to hear from Chuck Grote all the way in from Utah. I want to let the fans at home know that as we complete this route here, what did I just call it, a route?
Sure.
Round.
Jeez.
3 weeks on the road, I need a break. Anyway, after we complete this round, we're going to have a 50-minute break to re-oil the lanes for B Squad. And when we do so, we're going to work on getting our ticker working and get another score update, scoreboard in the center for the bowlers. And you guys, we're looking at the updates after how many games we got?
Game number 5. This is game number 6 they're in.
So we'll have one more game after this. 7-game qualifying block, kind of unusual. 7 games. I don't see too many tournaments with 7-game blocks. Usually it's 6 or 8.
I do want to point out here on 13 and 14, which we are watching on the stream here, Troy Fueller has got the first 5 strikes. That's about the only string that we have on our featured pairs here, so we're going to bring that coverage to you as we can.
I think the reason that he went to 7 games was the qualifier in September was 8 games, but because of the size of the center, and he wanted to accommodate enough bowlers that he took a game away from qualifying, so that way he could, run a field of 180. So there's not a lot of tournament directors around the country worrying about accommodating a field of 180.
And to his credit, what he did is sent a survey out to people that previously bowled and asked what the bowlers wanted, and came up with a lot of feedback as to what to do. So there again, you don't get a lot of people that, tournament directors sometimes will just do whatever they think is right. And again, we have 180 people in this field and a waiting list. He's obviously doing something right.
Matt, if I could get it on the booth cam real quick. This is actually Rob Gotchall right here, and Rob is reading palms here at the reading palms table.
Oh,
I was wondering if you could read my palm, Rob.
Off the rails we go.
Well, I don't know what your palm says, but I would almost pay money to be inside your head for a 24-hour period after
Thank you, Rob.
our astonishing conversations.
He's actually touching my hand right now.
From you know, dogs with wheels for legs to Finnyland.
Flannyland.
Flannyland.
What is
Yeah,
Flannyland?
yeah.
That's like the route they're bowling
Flannyland.
right now.
I mean, you're just. It's amazing where your mind wanders to an egg-shaped bowling ball that's going to revolutionize the game.
It is.
Yeah.
Egg-shaped bowling ball.
That will be legal somehow.
Yeah.
So there's Miss Cleo and there's Mr. Rob. If you want to get your palm read, come on out to Waterloo, Iowa. Maple Lanes to be exact, and right here at the kiddie table, we'll get that done for you.
Does this camera take pictures?
I don't think so.
I'd like to have a picture with you, so I could get your autograph when you become famous for revolutionizing the game of bowling.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
And,
Okay. Yeah.
And dog sitting.
Boy, that'll be fun. Yeah.
So over back on 13 and 14, Troy Fuller got the one of the 6. He's up in the 7th here. He's got going for the ham turkey dinner. We're going to bring that to you live.
Like the old throw no strikes in a row to call it a ham turkey. Oh, I guess they did have one Wednesday night.
Where?
A ham turkey dinner.
Ah.
I think they were the only 7 strikes they threw all night, but I threw them in a row.
You know what I love about that ham turkey dinner is that people are already hating on that phrase.
Already?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
A lot of people. I could do without the ham turkey dinner silliness.
Hey, got away with that one there. So good job there, Troy.
We could be real serious for like the next half an hour.
Yeah, we could just describe every ball shot as they go down the lane.
We could.
But we choose not to.
We also discussed on the way up here, and this is a true story, on whether or not to broadcast the entire weekend by calling out people's names by last name, comma, first name.
Which would be really hard.
It would sound something like this. Welcome to .com, comma, Inside Bowling. I am Flanagan, comma, Mike, alongside Turek, comma, Matt. Richter, comma, Steve. Boudouris, comma, Lee, and of course, the most unbelievable palm reader of all, Gotchall, comma, Rob, here up in the comma booth. It would kind of work like that. And that would be really annoying.
Folks, he's not even reading that off a script. He just peeled that out of his brain.
So it's either that or we can say ham turkey dinner once in a while. You be the judge. Send us a tweet, hashtag Inside Bowling, to let us know, and we'll put it up on the screen. Your vote decides it. Do we use the commas, or do we use the ham turkey dinner occasionally?
I think the next time Apple wants to design some software for the phone,
okay,
I think you should be the new Siri.
Oh my God. Well, that would be awesome.
Call him Flanny?
Yeah.
Flanny.
Yeah, Flanny. And then every time you ask your phone something, you never get an answer that's on topic.
And it'll go on and on and on.
Like you tell Flanny to call Steve Richtor, and he just he goes in, he sends a text message to the fire department.
That's great. Oh, I like this LU Kingpin. Or would it be a dinner turkey ham? With a comma in there somewhere.
Dinner turkey ham. Oh, yeah, with the comma.
Dinner, comma,
Very
turkey
nice.
ham.
It took my brain to process that a little bit, LU.
So if I ask Flanny for directions from one place to another, it's got a picture of a dog with wheels for legs. Wow.
We've got Wriggles up here in the booth talking to Richter right now, discussing the game.
I want to ask Jeff Riggles what color these pants are.
Well, the good news is Jeff's going to be in the booth during the second block calling the action.
Oh, I want you to find out. Are those brown or are those olive? Or
we'll find out.
Don't get him started. Really.
That's fun.
He said he
gets all defensive and itchy.
Yeah. He said he's going to have some fun next squad.
Flanny reminds me of put the Gestapo on ice. Oh, as you see there, Troy Fueler on lane 13 just left a bucket and spared it nicely there in the 8th frame. So let's take you guys down on 5 and 6. Let's watch them for a little while.
In the chat, Kingpin says, surprised at Gail Meyer's scores. I went down there a little bit ago and asked him what's going on, and he said he's actually got pretty good shape on the lanes. He's missing spares. Making splits, but missing spares.
Yeah, I saw him miss 3 single pins in the first 2 games. Very, very unlike Gail.
If you're just joining us on this broadcast, I am Mike Flanagan with Matt Turek, Boudouris. Those are my boys on the road with me, doing a great job, and I appreciate them coming with me. This is one of the first times I've ever had 5 people in the booth at one time. And
it is the first.
We're joined
working
by,
pretty good.
Yeah, it is. It's flowing. We've got Rob Gotchall and Steve Richtor with us, of course. And just guys, I just want to take a minute in case we don't remember to do this throughout the weekend. Really want to appreciate you guys spending the time to sit in here. And not only did you guys just sit in here, but you both contacted me before I came up here and volunteered to sit in this booth for the fans at home. So thank you guys.
You know, if the people at home could see the setup that you bring here and the quality of the event, I think there would be a lot more people that volunteer to do what Rob and I are doing. This is a great service to bowling, and you make very little to none money on it. And
I appreciate that.
You do it for the love, and there's always ways for us to give back to you, and we appreciate what you do for bowling.
I agree. What you've done over the last year and a half, 2 years since you started this, it's special. I mean, it's something that not a lot of people can do, and I think it's great, and I have no problem coming in here and talking bowling and talking Monopoly or
Monopoly pieces.
Yeah, I mean,
2-legged dogs.
Yeah. Turek with his wheelbarrow.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. He'll forever be known as the wheelbarrow.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
I'll carry all my gold in my wheelbarrow all around.
No,
town.
It'll be kind of like when somebody gets married and you got to carry them through the threshold. Every live stream we go to from now on, I'm going to actually have you get on your hands and I'm going to grab your back legs and you're going to wheelbarrow in the door.
Oh, let's hope we don't get that on camera.
All right. I'll at least bring a poster board, Matt, for when you roll through where I live for your travel league.
Yeah.
Just a big sign of a wheelbarrow on it. And we'll see who was listening today because they'll get it.
Yeah.
Hey, guys, we talked about Gail Myers Jr., and I had a chance to see him at the Holiday Doubles Tournament. And when Gail cuts loose outside of bowling, it's quite a sight to see. He's an absolute wild man. He's so much fun to be around. Which reminds me, I got a good question for you guys, Rob and Steve. You've seen and talked to a lot more personalities in the game of bowling than I have. And I'd love to get your perspective on this. We'll start with you, Rob. Are there any particular solid amateur bowlers all the way up to the pros that you think that they could have a career in stand-up comedy?
Oh, you might have to give me a minute on that one. I mean, Adam Barta could do stand-up. He may need to use his brother as a prop.
as a prop.
But I honestly think Adam Barta could do a really good job at stand-up comedy.
If you want to take a look at an interview I did with Adam Barta, you can see that on the YouTube channel. It's the most recent updated video. It's me with Adam. We do a hand hug in front of everyone, and then his son Logan, actually, it was his birthday, and we played the birthday song for him. Steve Richtor, anybody come to mind for you, stand-up comedians in the bowling world?
That question's just too hard for me. I have a sort of an odd sense of humor, so I find funny in a lot of things. So really nothing stands out to me.
You know, Dick Allen comes to mind for me. I think Dick Allen could possibly be a stand-up comedian. As he has told me before, that the worst break in bowling is when you go Brooklyn and you don't strike.
I mean,
I guess you can look at it that way.
Yeah, I mean, if you hit the wrong side of the pocket.
Where you throw it bad enough, it just should strike.
Yeah.
Right?
He just says if you go Brooklyn and you don't strike, that's the worst break in bowling.
He does have THB on his arm, the typical house bowler.
Do you guys follow his Twitter at all?
A little bit.
I will be now.
Yeah. You should.
What is it?
It's. I think it's THB. Typical house bowler. Hashtag typical house bowler, I think, or at whatever at typical house bowler.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
He posts some funny stuff on there sometimes.
Stu Williams could do stand up. Mick Golf checks in the chat.
Yeah, Stu would be really good.
He was on the extra frame a little bit yesterday. He was good to listen to.
Yeah.
Well, where I'm going with this is I think it would be really a fun segment if at like one of these tour stops or even like an event like this or my IB Open, if actually you got to see like pro bowlers do stand-up. I think that would make for a really neat segment. I would enjoy that personally. Especially if it was like mostly bowling related. It would be like a roast almost.
Oh yeah.
Is there any bowler, Rob, in your mind that you think would be a good person to roast?
I mean, you could do a lot of people for a lot of different reasons, but I don't know.
Who would you like to roast? I'm really putting you guys on the spot.
You
here,
are.
huh?
I mean to name people that's tough.
Richter, would you roast anyone?
Wriggles.
Yeah. I knew that was coming.
A, he's too easy to pick on, and B, he would eat it up. He'd love it.
Yeah. Could you imagine
but
a
he
Jeff
has so many
Wriggles
stories.
roast live streamed?
Let's make it happen.
Yeah, let's do it.
I mean, Steve could do it right now.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, but the
That
key
is so
people that would
funny.
find it really funny
No
would
ball
need to be
arrived,
tuning
Tony.
in.
I'll ship it to you. I didn't get the ball yet. Tony Oliva joining us. He just stopped by. He won a Hammer First Blood in our chat last week at the TMBA. He answered the trivia question right.
I think he cheated. I think he got on the internet and
He probably
cheated.
did.
I mean, he's smart, but
Steve, back to what you were saying about Jeff.
Real quick here, I'm going to point out this is Game 7. We're starting Game 7. This is the last game of the block. We're looking at lanes 5 and 6, which is Jacob Boudouris and Wriggles is on that pair. Lenny Boudouris and Zach Borschmer. If I butchered that.
I think it's Bajorner.
Bajorner. Okay. Yeah, carry on. I just wanted to reset there.
Kearney, what is it? Jackie Joyner-Kersey, Bajorner, Joyner-Kersey. That's how I was trying to go with that. But anyway, Steve, back to you. Jeff Wriggles is actually on our pair here. And Steve Richtor has just decided that he wants to roast Jeff Wriggles. He just came up with it out of nowhere. I want to roast Jeff. And we're like, I don't know. I don't know if that's a good idea.
Here he is coming up on lane 5, guys.
Yeah.
Way too easy of a target.
you probably have some good inside dirt.
I have dirt on the guys that are clean on our team, or have the image of being clean.
Yeah.
Oh,
those things will remain in the vault.
Yeah, shades.
All right, guys, if you want to contact us in the booth, there's multiple ways you can do that. You can do that by typing to us in the chat here on the InsideBowling.tv page, or you can tweet us by using the hashtag InsideBowling, as you can see in the upper right corner of your screen. If you do tweet us, we will be putting your tweets on screen, so feel free to drop us some tweets and communicate with us with our new technology here. Tweet, tweet.
Yep, that's right. Dave Carter's your leader right now, actually. He's plus 164, followed by Jason Guest, Dwayne Kiltz, Matt Wiggin, Jeff Wriggles, Shannon Buchan. So the cream rising to the top very early on in this tournament. The number we're really keeping an eye on here, though, is about 21st position, because the top 64 are going to come back tomorrow to bowl another round before going to the top 10 untraditional, yet traditional step ladder. And right now, 21st place is Jason Rook at plus 43 through 5 games. So about a 2:08 pace still. Gets you into the top 21. Times that by 3, you get to 63. We're taking 64 to tomorrow.
Yeah, question in the chat from FJ. Riggles is still throwing a sink in Game 7.
Yeah, I'll tell you,
mils.
that particular sink though, he's got drilled in a weak style drilling, so it gets to the spot pretty easy and then it curves. If there's friction down lane, you'll see it tip a little bit harder, but there's a very unique drilling in that ball that makes it do what it does.
Let's ask him about that later.
Yeah, and there's still plenty of volume, it looks like, in the middle of the lane to where it's even with the stronger shell, it's not going to pick up early. It's still going to get down and get to the spot.
The thing about bowling with Jeff too, as many times as I have, is sometimes he sees the lane different than most people. He's got a lot of tricks in his bag too, and so he might be in something weaker, hitting it harder, or playing it a different way, or in something weaker and floating it. He's very much the classical feel bowler.
Oh yeah.
Knows some basics about the physical game. Probably knows less about equipment, but man, does he know how to make it work.
And this is game number 7. I'm going to really quick take you guys over here to 13 and 14. Let you know that Gabe Bartlett, Leon Brewer, Eric Kirby, and Adam Newton are bowling on that pair for their final game of this qualifying block. So we will shortly take you back to Jeff Riggles here, because we know that he is our featured bowler here. Everybody wants to see him bowl.
Lenny looks like Steve.
I can hear you. Yeah.
It looks like Jacob and Lenny are throwing the same balls they were throwing in Game 1.
They are.
All right, Mike is, I don't know what he's doing.
Yeah, he's going to get a couple interviews set up here, so we're going to wait for him to get squared away.
So if you watch Jeff's last couple shots here, he went solid 10, weak 10, 4-pin. Weak 10 and 4-pin is opposite reactions really going through the pins. Even though he's in that sink, he might be in the wrong ball right now.
Yeah,
he might be burning.
It's one of those things to where even yesterday in watching, I think it was very hard if you were in those high-end big core balls, it was very hard to switch to something so drastically different with polish and it just because there's so much on the lane, it doesn't seem as though it may be the right move, but I think it is right now. I mean, you're starting to see quite a few gold balls go down the lane, some high roads, some victory roads.
I was very surprised at how many people I thought matched up with the original blue IQ Tour.
Yes.
I didn't have nearly as good a look as what a lot of people did with it, but then it came to me eventually. But you're right, it just, with so much volume and so much length in the lane, it feels like stronger balls, more asymmetry in what you choose, and I think there comes a point where the balls are spinning up, heading down the lane, and by the time they get to the end of the pattern, they fake you into thinking, oh, I'm close, I just have to throw it better, I just have to move, and sometimes the answer is getting out of the ball altogether.
Yeah. And I think Jacob and Lenny are in that same boat right now too. They're both getting 9 a few times, and
that was a good shot.
Yeah.
That's a hard thing too. I mean, if you're close to what you think the number might be, and you can get 200 or 210 out of it, you know, you might feel like in the last game I'm going to grind and get it.
Yeah.
Versus maybe going to a gold ball and trying to shoot 250, but you could shoot 160.
You're exactly right.
Hey guys, I'm down here behind lanes 5 and 6, right in the trenches. You can probably see me down here, my hands up.
Yep.
And I'm down here hanging out with Zach Bajorner from the Fusion Realtors, who is a great sponsor of this event, named after his company, great supporter of bowling. Lenny and Jacob Boudouris and Jeff Riggles down here. So I'm going to see if I can't talk to these guys in the middle of action here, and I'll try to break in with some updates down here as we get a look at Riggles. I'm right behind his pair, crossing about the 19th board.
Oh. It's a rough leave. But that's pickable.
It is pickable.
Got the 4 out. Got the hard one.
If he makes it, we will know. We will be yelling.
And so will the people on lane
8.
4.
I was guessing lane 8. I think he goes to the right.
Zach's just inside of where Riggles was, kind of playing the fallback here. I'm going to see if I can get an interview right now with Zach. Hey, Zach. Mike Flanagan here, obviously. Great shot there. Thanks for sponsoring this tournament.
Yeah, you're welcome. Enjoy it. We'll be back next year for sure. It's a good, been a great value for Fusion, and we just are really glad to have bowlers coming from all over the Midwest to come here to Waterloo and have fun at the casino and hopefully enjoy the bowling here today. So, yeah.
Yeah, well, obviously these great events. I mean, it's a sold-out event. We've done a couple of them now with Inside Bowling. We're just happy to be a part of this thing. Can you talk a little bit about what you're seeing on the lanes today?
Well, they started out obviously very tight. They are opening up a little bit now. I think the scores probably are going to go up here these last couple games. That would be my thought. Good shots are rewarded. Bad shots aren't. I've thrown a lot of bad shots today, but I still got a chance here if I can pop a big game. But yeah.
Okay, bud. Well, good luck to you, man. I'm going to hang out down here with your pair. You're paired up with some unbelievable pair mates here.
It's been a lot of fun today. Lenny and Jeff I bowled with before, and I've been really impressed today with Jacob. I mean, he throws it so smooth and so awesome. I mean, he's going to do some good things. So I wish I had that smooth release.
Well, good luck to you, man. We appreciate it. Hey, Jeff, you got a second? Jeff, let's talk about the shot on lane 6 with the sink, and let's talk about the shot on lane 5 as you sit 5th through 5 games in this tournament.
I'm not really sure what happened on 6. That, as you can see with Jake going high there, I think it's hooking a little bit sooner, a little bit more to the right, because I thought it was pretty good. So I don't know. The 1 on 5 was, I decided to carry once, I guess. But honestly, that's only my second open today. I've been able to control the pocket pretty good, but that one got away from me on 6. I honestly don't know. Next time on that lane, it's going to be a bucket or a 210, And I've shot the 2.5 a lot today. These are fun. This is an interesting condition.
What do you think about your pair mates today being paired up with these 3 guys?
Oh, this is a lot of fun. I mean, Skin and I go back forever, to back when we had hair. And, Zach, I love Zach. And, Jake, now that I've got to know him through Lenny, he's a chip off the old block of his grandpa and his dad, and a hell of a good young bowler. So it's been a good day. Been fun.
Appreciate it, Jeff. Good luck to you, bud. I'll be hanging out down here with you for a couple of frames here as I want to give the fans at home a little bit of an inside look at what's happening out here on the lanes. Guys, what do you think about all that?
Apparently nothing.
Nothing. Crickets over here.
Crickets.
I'm down here doing unbelievable interview work, and you guys got nothing for me?
I think we were asleep because you were on subject.
Yeah, that was a shock to all of us.
Thank you. I'll grab Lenny real quick. Lenny, you got a second? Yeah, hey, yo, Mike, he's ready. Yeah, hey, so Lenny, what's going on the lanes for you here today?
I got to use something dull. Got to keep it kind of tight, and roll it. Early on, there's a lot of transition the last few games, but just trying to keep it kind of tight like Jake did there, and just kind of get it rolling to their pins.
What's your ball choice today?
Rotor Stirb.
We've got a lot of Storm and Utah products down here on the rack. It looks like. Talk a little bit about why you decided to go with that ball.
Over the last couple of years, I've had pretty good luck with it, and I haven't had much time to drill any new balls, so I popped it out right before I came, I needed something to hook because I heard there was going to be 46 feet of oil. So that's kind of was my game plan. So something to roll up there and get him done, get him down.
All right, he's on his way, walking up now. Just slap me with the towel. That's Lenny Boudouris, and now Riggles wants to talk some more after that energetic strike.
I didn't move in, and I should have.
He didn't move, and he should have. But
no, I guess I should because I tripped the 4.
yeah, that was a nice trip 4, Jeff.
I tried to be firmer and loft it more, and it's still hooked.
Okay, so he says he's moving on 6 the next game, guys. What do you think of that move?
I think it's a good idea. I mean, I think he went high the one shot, went through the face, and I mean, I think it's a good move.
I agree.
You think Lenny's got a chance to go high here?
Well, Lenny's kind of playing the fallback, where Jeff's playing a little more of the friction, and Lenny's playing a little more of the oil line. So I honestly think Lenny's just trying to stay clean, get out of this. Scores have just been updated after Game 6.
Right.
And the cut score took a little jump, or our projected number. 21st place is now 66 over.
Whoa.
It went up 20 pins from the last game, so.
See if it goes up 4 pins. I'm right on that.
Yeah.
I'm thinking 12.
That's why it's scary to move in.
Yeah.
Because Lenny almost just 8-10, and they were making fun of him down here. Lenny evidently moved a little to the left down here on lane 6, boys.
Yeah, but I mean, Lenny's 111 over going into this game, and I just think he's just making sure that he doesn't split when he misses. I mean, he's in position now. Now, if Lenny's, you know, in that 60 to 80 range, and you know, he's pacing 2-0, I mean, he might be looking to make a change, but I mean, right now he's fine. He's fine just getting 9. You know, if he knocks him over, he knocks him over.
I gotta ask Riggles a question here. Hey, Jeff, was it really the muscle that got that out?
No, the technology, the sync got that out.
Okay, so it had nothing to do with your workout program at home?
Yeah, no. You know what that Nape would say that's. Now you describe that if they couldn't see it.
Oh man. Yeah, this is getting kind of crazy down here in the trenches, guys.
Mike, good note in the chat from D. Margit. Only 3/4 of the field last game were 200 or better in Game 6.
3/4 of the field, 200 or better. Game 6. Cut scores going up, gentlemen.
What are you guys thinking? Is it going to be 22 guys, 20 guys a squad, or I mean, how do you?
Oh, okay.
Tell him it's 78 and ask if he'll take the over/under like we did.
Okay, we've predicted 78 being the number for the top 64. Do you want to take the over or the under?
I haven't even seen the score. What's like 20th on this clock?
20th right now through 6 guys is what?
66.
66.
That's with 1 game to go or 2?
1 game to go.
I think you guys got the number pretty well nailed. If you made me say over or under, I would probably say over.
There you have it.
It's going to be right around that.
There you have it, Rob Gotchall. Your Mr. Rob instead of Miss Cleo palm reading is paying off. Wriggle says you pegged it. Earlier, Rob Gotchall was reading palms. He read my palm. Would you let Rob Gotchall read your palm today, Jeff?
I suppose. Does he have to touch it?
That's part of the whole best part of it.
Right palm, because I have these scars and they're hypersensitive. If he can do the left palm, it's okay.
Okay. I believe he's doing elbows and toes as well later. Oh. That was a great shot by Zach right there.
We're going to go ahead and switch to the split screen here to give you guys at home coverage of both pairs as this last game of this block is finishing up.
A couple good starts over on this pair.
Yeah.
A couple triples.
Yeah, got some good spares there. Everybody seems to be clean. Is that a split?
No, there's the bottom lines have
there's a
plenty
9
of open fulls in there, but top 2 lines
are clean. Yeah,
are clean with the triple. And
I just got ran over by Tom Adcock.
I hope you got insurance
with a triple ball bag. Hey, Jacob. Got a minute? Yeah. I'm joined now here by superstar of this pair, Jacob Boudouris. Jake, what's it like bowling with these three guys?
I'm not going to lie, it's been a pretty good experience right now. Anytime I get to bowl with my dad, it's a lot of fun. And especially, you add Jeff into the mix and Zach right here. It's been pretty awesome these last 6 games.
There's been women all over the country trying to figure out how to get in touch with you as you are absolutely dominating the pins today. And if anybody out there wanted to get a date with you, is that a possibility?
Well, I have a girlfriend right now, so I'm gonna have to turn that offer down.
Everybody got that in the chat, right?
Yeah. Right now, we just lost like 25 viewers. Nope. They said it's up to 70 now. 70 viewers gone now.
Mike, we have 2 viewers left.
That works for me then.
Yeah, there's only
we got Father John, and we got somebody who's talking to Father John. Yeah. Everybody else left.
We have a priest and somebody that's giving him a confessional right now. The only 2 left in the chat.
Oh no. I guess I better get the ladies back then. We need more viewers.
Yeah, you're right. But anyway, you throw the ball awesome, by the way, man. We had a chance to see you a couple weeks ago in Dubuque at the Clark Invitational, and awesome to see you out here bowling well today with these guys.
Thanks, appreciate it. Thank you.
Look forward to seeing you tomorrow, Jacob. That's my sideline reporting down here, gentlemen. I'm going to come back to the booth now, as I don't want anybody to trip and fall over my wires as they complete game number 7.
Thanks, Mike.
I don't know. How do we follow that up, boys?
Yeah, how do we follow that up? That was such a good interview there.
I mean, I would have rather known if him and his dad had a side bet going.
Well, Mike?
I think we should find that out. I think you should go back, Mike.
Yeah, go back after you rolled all that up.
Maybe dinner tonight or something.
Well, the last time
who's got to mow the lawn first time it needs it?
The last time the Bourishes were in Waterloo, back at the over/under tournament, I know that Jacob and Lenny had to drive back to the town where he goes to college because Jacob wanted to spend some time with his girlfriend, so Lenny stayed in that town. But I guess that's the nice thing a dad does. He gets to spend some time with maybe his future daughter-in-law.
Wow. How old is he?
I think 19 or 20.
Yeah.
You never know.
You never know. It's happened before.
Lenny is hoping that
Jeff showing off for the camera.
Lenny's hoping that his son here can get a strike. He thinks he needs this to get him up over 100. I think he's at 90 right now. He's got a possible 217 left, but we saw him leave the 4-pin. Yeah, it looks like, this pair, as we've watched it, 2-0's a decent number on this pair. It's just a little tricky, but it looks like, 230, 240 is a possible score on this pair.
If Jacob Spur strikes, he will finish at plus 83, which may be a sweated out score.
You're absolutely right. And don't forget, everybody, we got 2 more squads of this. And you're going to get to see these 2 guys we've been talking to the whole time, Steve Richtor, Rob Gotchall. They're going to be bowling in front of us. We get to do the same thing. You guys going to be cool with some interviews?
Absolutely.
Steve?
Sure.
Okay, all right.
Can't really say no.
Ooh, I was getting nervous.
So Riggles did strike in the 10th.
Yeah, that's why he gave us the old number 1.
And he struck again in the 10th.
Didn't look like he liked his footing on that shot. But he got through it anyway.
A little bit of a who do you think you are, Jeff Riggles.
Well, you've heard that from him before, huh? Famous line.
He loves that.
Once or twice.
Hey, Mike.
So Jacob Boudouris did finish with 197. Which, he'll be plus 87.
He should be all right.
Yeah, I think he'll be fine. I think he's got nothing to worry about. He'll have enough cushion in there. Although I'm sure he's got his eye on the prize and wants to finish in the top 5, obviously, or higher. You know, there's a few mentalities. One is just making the cut, and one is, you know, actually contending for the title. And you can really see the difference in players out here at times. You can tell some are just like, I just don't have it. I just want to get a check. I want to make it to tomorrow. I want to double my money and get the hell out of town. Then there's some other people that, you know, are like 140, 150 over, and they're begging for every strike. And you're sitting back watching, and you're like, what is wrong with this guy? He's comfortably in. Well, it's because he's got his eye on the prize.
Yeah, and he might not actually know what the scores are at this time.
That's true, too.
Yeah, I mean, there's currently 12 players 100 over or more, and we have 2 players over 200 over.
You know, a lot of that too, Mike, could be, you know, they might have pushed the all button on brackets too. You know, so it's not just the sticks that you're getting, it's the cash that's on the line also.
That's very true.
Yeah.
I wonder how much bracket action they had this squad.
Well, I know you're limited here. You can, I believe it's like $65 brackets, $20, $10 brackets.
500.
Yeah, it's like
500.
It's like 500 or 600 you can get in. But generally, I mean, obviously with 60 bowlers on a squad, he gets more than that. But he tries, he likes to limit them so that way, one person can't make all the money.
Nice
spread it out.
We've got Salisbury in the chat as well. I believe that's Mr. Salisbury, who is leading the Bowlers Consortium. I believe it is. I'm probably messed that up. James Salisbury, welcome and thank you for being part of our broadcast today. Also, Trophy King says he sees 2 Boudurishes, but where's the senior? Must be playing some video poker. Remember, the winner of this tournament, I believe, unofficially, boys, let me know if I'm incorrect, but I believe it's $3,000 for first place.
Yep, we just answered that in the chat there.
So I asked Jacob the running question. There's no side wager, side bet between he and his dad, but he said when he and his dad have bowled the same tournaments, he's never beat Lenny. So
he's never beat him
in the same tournament. So he's don't mean a lot to him.
That's a developing story here. Jacob Boudouris has never beat his dad in a tournament.
I mean, his dad's pretty tough to beat, though.
That's true.
Well, we'll just have to beat him up. We'll just go beat him up. Let Jacob win.
What did Lenny finish at? Plus minus.
He had 235 the last game?
Yeah, 235 the last game. So that's
146.
Yeah.
He's only 60 behind. You got 6. I think that's the interesting thing about this tournament. You have 6 games in the cut squad.
Yeah.
That's enough time to really make anybody live. To even if you don't make the top 10, move up a number of spots, make some more money.
Just heard from the back here that tournament leader Dwayne Kiltz just bowled 245 the last game. He's in the clubhouse at 259 over.
Wow.
It's a bunch.
Anybody know what Dave Carter shot that last game?
I do not.
He was only 7 pins behind Dwayne.
Well, guys, that's about going to wrap up A-Squad coverage here. I'd like to thank Rob Gotchall and Steve Richtor, both of you guys, for joining us during this broadcast. It's been a lot of fun having you guys in here. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, you're welcome anytime.
And we'll get this thing wrapped up for you. We'll continue watching this 10th frame here. We'll bring it back into the booth. Matt, Lee, and myself will wrap this up. We want to wish you guys good luck in the next squad. We can't wait to make fun of you and at the same time root you on to victory.
And maybe interrupt your bowling with some lane side interviews.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much for having us.
Oh, you know it.
For all you do, Mike.
Gentlemen, it's been a pleasure. So this won't be the last we hear from you guys. We know that. So we'll be seeing you down the road here in just about an hour or so.
Nice to meet you. All right, well, on behalf of all of us here, this is Matt Turek waving. Steve Richtor getting up here, Lee Boudouris to my right, Mike Flanagan behind me, and Rob Gotchall, the palm reader, is getting up. They're getting ready to bowl their B squad. So until then, we'll leave you with some music, right, Mike?
No, actually, what we're going to do, and that's why I wanted to sit down for a second, we are going to actually break the stream, and we are going to work on a couple of things here that we want to try to improve our coverage for you at home. So we're going to break the stream for just a little bit. If anybody's hanging out in the chat, people are looking for us, just let them know. You know, they're going to be coming back at the time right now.
Well, it's supposed to be 1:30.
It's going to be a little bit longer than that, I anticipate. We're probably looking about 1:45, so we're going to grab something to eat. We're going to set up a couple things here locally. We're going to try to get a couple more cameras for you for a little more coverage. And we'll be back in about 45 minutes to an hour, I would say, for B squad. You don't want to miss it. Big names on this squad. Jeff Riggles is going to join us in the booth, guys.
All right.
So he's going to have an opportunity to flip things around and maybe roast Satan, roast Steve Richtor. So Gotchall, Richter, a whole cast of characters are going to be coming up. And we'll be happy to bring that to you here live from the Fusion Realtors Open. You just saw qualifying of round A, and round B will be coming up. 60 more competitors are going to take to the lanes, and then 60 more this evening. So for Lee Boudouris and Matt Turek right here, we will see you here in about an hour. I'm Mike Flanagan, and we look forward to seeing you a little bit later on our broadcast. Good day from Waterloo. We'll see you soon.